1. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Nerd Alert. Now, as you've seen on our YouTube channel, our first 2 episodes are deleted. That's because we got in trouble. We got in a little bit of trouble with all the content we was showing. WWE was really upset that I used pay-per-view footage that they put up on YouTube. And BBC Worldwide was really upset that I used the new Sherlock Holmes trailer that they put up on YouTube. But you can still catch Sherlock on January 1st, 2017 on the BBC. Am I going to get in trouble for saying that? I don't know. And episode 2, we had a lot of content of people going, you can use that, but we want to put ads in your show. And I, for the life of me, if I'm not going to get paid, then I'm not going to put ads on my show. But isn't it weird how we live in a country where corporations can shut you down for freely promoting their product? All the thought that really comes to my head is like Donald Trump was elected president now? This is Nerd Alert. Welcome to Nerd Alert. And welcome to Nerd Alert. I am your host with the very least, Dan Danzy. Welcome to a content-free show of Nerd Alert. Sitting to my left, my lovely fiance and co-host.
Hello, my name is Misty Fields, and yes, that is my real name.
I love how people would question that your name is Misty Fields, but wouldn't question that my actual name is Dan Danzy. That's crazy. And over here in the back corner, we missed out on him last week, but he is back today. Go ahead. Go ahead with your name, sir.
I'm Dan Danzy.
No, you're not.
Oh, sorry. I'm Chris Malone.
Chris Malone. Chris, I'm Fantasy Football Jesus Malone.
Well, I am either first place or at 500 in all 4 of my leagues. I'm just saying.
I'm 3-6.
You started off. You were 3-0 to start off with, and then you just fell off. I don't know what you did wrong.
I don't know, but she has yet to know that I'm going to lose $70 out of the wedding fund for fantasy football.
Well, that's
There's
right.
their face.
Yeah.
I see it on
Was
camera.
that the entire
I was about
budget?
to say ours was 50. Are you doing?
It's not.
20?
No, it's not. It's 2 different leagues, and anyway, and today we have a special guest. You can already hear his voice. This is a great radio voice. Things are tingling. I can't describe those things because this is a PG show. But ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stu Hollowell is in the house.
What's up? What's up?
And he has a great charity that we're going to talk about later called LOL, Language of Laughter, LOL for a cause, if you will, who does stand-up comedy shows, and the proceeds to those stand-up comedy shows go to great things. And I'm not gonna give away. We're going to talk about it later.
Spoilers, Dan.
But spoilers. We do that too much on the show. We reveal too much. And speaking of revealing too much, guys, we have a Nerd Alert exclusive, and I'm calling it an exclusive because we are the only podcast to show this. Yeah. This is mere minutes old, just hit the internet. Let me just pull it up on my second screen here.
We're all tingling now.
Oh, just tingle, tingle, tingle everywhere. Let me see. Bam, right there. Nope, I want that over here. Oh, great. Hold on.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. So basically, here it is. We have an exclusive screenshot from the Defenders Marvel Netflix series. Here it is. I wish I could full screen it, but I can't. But as you can see, this is Misty Knight from Luke Cage pointing a gun at Jessica Jones. Or it's just New York. Or it's or that's just what's going on in New York.
I
at
object to that. They're at their all-time low in violent crime, so you be careful there, sir.
Well, the CEO of Trump Tower just moved, so
Well,
there you
yeah,
go.
it's about to go up. Let's not argue that.
That could be New York at like 8:30 p.m. honestly, but no, that's Misty Knight and that's Jessica Jones, and just leaves us with Sigourney Weaver as the villain in The Defenders. What is going on?
Sigourney.
What is going on? What is going to happen with Defenders? I mean, you already have pictures of Misty Knight pointing a gun at Jessica Jones. So is there, I think there might be like maybe the cops are against the Defenders? Could be. Guys?
I'm sure there's a political statement that conveyed in there somewhere.
A political...
Does Marvel do that? Does Marvel do political statements?
I don't know. I mean, no, the Defenders against the offenders. Watch out.
Oh, hello.
Yuck, yuck.
Topical humor.
I mean, honestly, what are you doing? Honestly, I think that I mean, there could be any reason behind this because if you know Misty Knight and you know Jessica Jones as characters, they both are they have such strong personalities. It could be for anything.
Could be over
It
could be over Luke Cage.
It could be, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I watched Luke Cage, and I'll tell you right now, I'd fight over Luke Cage.
I would too. But no, I mean, spoiler alert, Jessica Jones did have relations with Luke Cage. I have to look into the camera to make sure I don't cuss, because that's my way of remembering not to say the F word.
I thought I was the one that's supposed to watch my mouth.
I'm an atheist Jew. It's much easier for me to cuss. So yeah, and then we all know Misty Knight's history with Luke Cage from watching Luke Cage.
Now, Misty Knight is not her real name.
Not her real name.
Not her real name. We have an authentic Misty over here who does not own a gun. Yet.
She is a
She is marrying me. She will have a gun second week of marriage.
If you ever go to New York, you're gonna have to fix that.
Right?
Yeah.
No, we're never. I'm never going to New York. No.
Aw.
This is not one of those places I want to visit.
Oh,
Seems like a
You
place.
don't even want to visit New York?
No,
I'd
it just
visit
seems like
it.
a place that smells like urine 24/7.
well, no, but garbage, but not urine.
Garbage. Oh, that reminds me. Chris won't be here next week because aren't you going to New York?
Yeah,
next week?
I'm going to New York. I'm going not to watch the Jets lose again. But it's okay. Top 5 draft pick. We'll take it.
They can't beat them 8-1 Cowboys though.
Yeah. So before you get too
Number one in
excited,
the league. No, we're not talking football.
okay.
We got a note
Before
not
you
to
get
talk.
too excited,
Go ahead.
on the first time since 1977, y'all been able to pull that off, and that's with Aikman and Romo in their prime. So you can go ahead and just enjoy that little caveat of history.
Hey, we haven't been number one in the league for a while. Let us just have
What, like
this.
5 years?
5, and then did you see the ending of that season?
And what makes you think this will be any different?
We're just enjoying it now.
Ew.
Okay.
There's magic happening
Just
now.
let it. Just let us enjoy it now.
No, never.
Chris was bullied.
gravity.
Chris was bullied by unrealistic Cowboy fans when he was younger.
It wasn't unrealistic. This is when they were winning their Super Bowls in the early 90s. And I just moved to San Antonio from England because I was an Air Force brat. And all I had, my dad's a Giants fan, so all I had was Giants gear and stuff. I didn't care about football. I hadn't played football yet. I didn't have any investment in it. And all I got was just shamed and hate. And, the typical stupid crud that 5th graders and 6th graders put onto each other because they don't know any better. They don't have those adult skills yet to learn how to function in society. So they crushed my spirit. And when I just wanted friends and to belong, they created a lifelong enemy. So I blame you, Cowboys fans. If you had treated me better when I was in 5th grade, I might have been on your side because I just wanted to belong. Now I'm a Jets fan because, well...
Because losers belong together, huh? Is that what?
Lovable losers?
Hey, in those kids' defense, 90s Cowboys are pretty awesome.
Yeah, but y'all. That's the thing about Cowboys fans, and I'll end it really quickly on this one. We're so ready. We gotta get a new triplets. Okay, first of all, it's Ezekiel Elliott's first year. Now, if you remember, Trent Richardson had 12 touchdowns his rookie year and then disappeared after that. So don't get too excited about the kid from Ohio State. Just
Exception, not a rule.
Exactly. Well, you never know. You never know. Like some guys come in and do really, really well, and then they just kind of, I'm mediocre the rest of my career. He's one injury away from not being able to run again. That's what running backs are. They even said, like, what Jay Ajayi from the Dolphins.
Don't put that evil on us.
Jay Ajayi, like, he supposedly has a knee condition where, like, he's got 3 years total. It's like, hey, back-to-back 200-yard games. Won't really matter in 2 years.
So,
Football!
I can see from the
Football!
look.
Football!
I can see from the look on Misty's face. We need to move on.
I am.
She's sleeping.
just-
Oh, no, she's
I am intently listening.
I want to teach her, but she doesn't want to listen. She doesn't want to learn.
I am listening out of courtesy. So let's get with our first segment. That was part of our first segment, but our first segment is Tube News. Tube News. See, yeah, you like that graphic right there? Yeah.
It's Felix.
We have new graphics. Oh yeah, we should explain where Felix is. Felix came down with a sore throat or the flu, one of the two. He's at home. He is a trooper though, because he didn't tell me until like an hour before we came up here, because he was going to try to work through it, get his throat better, but his throat is completely out. Not good for radio when someone can't talk.
Yeah.
Apparently.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we let Chris be on here.
I'm sucking down halls right now just because I want to sound somewhat good.
Hi, Felix.
But
we hope you're
we
feeling
miss,
better.
We miss you, Felix.
We
Chris
do.
is here. Chris is here. And I'm in charge of the TV news and movie news. And I didn't, other than that picture, that's all I had. No, but Marvel made an announcement this week that Inhumans will not be a movie. What? That Inhumans will actually be a TV show on ABC. Yay.
ABC, really?
ABC.
It will follow Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and its pilot will debut in IMAX screens and will be like an hour and a half to 2 hours long.
I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Interesting.
I mean, because they did introduce in the MCU the Inhumans in.
No, Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. dropped the ball, though, on Inhumans. Like, they had this good first season, then they brought in Inhumans for the second season and just dropped the ball. Changed the main character's name, brought in the dude from Twin Peaks for some
Which
reason.
dude from
Oh, you better be
Twin
careful with Twin
Peaks?
Peaks.
That's my
McLaughlin.
show.
I know it's a show, but
Kyle
you would have hated
MacLachlan.
him. You would have hated Kirk McLaughlin in this.
I liked him.
Kyle
Because he that's the type of role he plays. He can play that nuttiness, and he had such similar characteristics to who he was in Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
That's
Dale-
why it was
Agent
just
Dale
like.
Cooper.
That's why it
I'm
was
sorry.
stupid.
I'm sorry, I forgot his name.
It was boring. It wasn't a good season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, I wish I could say that their current season's better, but I don't like Ghost Rider. I really don't.
Well, you're not going to like my review of Doctor Strange, sir.
I've heard Doctor Strange is but we'll get to your movie review.
Let's not talk about this until we get to the
We
review. How about that?
have pictures of segments and a formatted show
We
that YouTube's just gonna take
we
down
have a-
anyway.
We have a formatted show that is going by
We will
no
from now
format.
on be on Vimeo.
Is that a Mavs hat? You can't have that on YouTube.
You're supporting breast cancer awareness and the Mavs at the same time, sir. That is not
Have you watched the Mavs season? It is breast cancer. All right. Harrison Barnes, you can't do anything with
My
him.
God.
Our episodes are getting funnier and a little bit edgier. I'm liking it. So that was Inhumans news, and the reason it's a TV show is because when it was announced that it was a movie, Marvel did not have the rights to Spider-Man yet. So when Marvel got the rights to Spider-Man, they took a little bit of budgets out of basically their
Everything else?
not everything else. Like they're for sure blockbusters. They didn't touch those. But movies where they took a risk, like Doctor Strange, the upcoming Black Panther movie, and then just they took a little bit out of each budget. And then with Inhumans, it was like, well, we could do this cheaper, make it a TV show. As far as Spider-Man movies go, how do y'all think it's going to go? Tom Holland, as Felix announced last week, says he's slated for 6 Spider-Man movies.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, I was going to say,
6 of them.
not only that, but he's just allowed free reign of, if he wants to pop in to any other Marvel movie,
Yep.
like they're like, we'll write you in, we'll give you a part.
Sweet.
I know, like what a sweet
He got
gig
the
this kid
Robert
has.
Downey Jr. treatment, and he's only been in Civil
How
War.
do-
What
how
is
do-
he,
how
like
do I get that
16,
gig?
17?
Yeah, how do I?
Six.
Who's his
6
agent?
movies. Here's the thing about
My agent just booked me at a Killer's Taco Show. I don't know.
Here's the thing about Spider-Man. Like, there's been so many different boots and reboots and all this stuff that I'm like, I'm confused. I'm just like, who is
You just have to restart every single time. That's just, it's kind of like the Hulk. Like, you go from Eric Bana
Toby
to-
has my heart. Like, he will always be my Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
Interrupt
Like, I actually boycotted the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
He looks more the part. I get that, but Tobey Maguire, he just pulled off the 30-year-old college kid. I dig it.
Pulled off the 30-year-old college kid.
I mean, he didn't. He made it his own. I wanted to ride a scooter after watching Peter Parker Spider-Man. Yeah,
I just that third Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I thought the first one was great. Second one was not as good as the first one, but okay. You had what's his name as Doc Ock. Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, and then you had the Harry Osborn finally becoming Green Goblin or getting to that Green Goblin point. But then the third one had that very really weird scene where Tobey Maguire just slaps Kirsten Dunst and then starts dancing. It was weird.
Wait, yeah, is that before or after he went emo in
He
the
went
alleyway?
emo. He went emo. Kirsten Dunst comes in the bar and is like, "Peter, you're being a jerk." Smack, and then a dance. Then a dance number.
That's
It was-
right. I remember.
that's
Yeah.
The weirdest
Terrible.
Tennessee Williams play I'd ever seen. It was very
Terrible.
weird.
But I mean, my point is I'm OCD. You know what I mean? In some aspects, so I want consistency. You know?
Yeah, they were not really consistent with that. I got it. Venom took him over, but Venom doesn't make you do jazz hands. I don't know. Smack. Ah. It was a very weird movie. The Andrew Garfield first version was and the second one I thought they did a really good job with the death of Gwen Stacy and the anticlimactic death that she had. Green Goblin drops her. And you think they're just gonna cut away, right? You think they're just gonna cut away before she falls. No, they don't. It's just smack dead.
Okay.
It was just I would show it right now if
Is
YouTube.
this a plus or a minus? Are you?
It's a plus.
Really? Okay.
We're trying to keep this on YouTube, so we can't.
I'm trying. I want to show it. I'm just YouTube.
You painted a picture with
Capitalism.
Words, so.
YouTube.
It follows the comic book, really by frame of how she falls and everything. But her neck does this I'm trying not to go graphic, but it's just this little whiplash pop on the sidewalk curb. That's just oh, I wish you would have cut away there.
But in the comic, doesn't he just catch her with the web and she snaps her neck as he pulls her up? Isn't that how she doesn't hit the ground in the comic? She snaps her neck in midair.
Yeah, no.
No
In the
way.
comic, you know what? I'm confusing it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. In the movie, he catches her with webbing, but her neck, boom, or her head, boom, hits the ground. In the comic book, she just falls flat.
How did I know that?
I
Dan?
signed LeBron James to the Rockets on 2K17, and I wasn't concentrating on the show this week because I've just been playing 2K17.
We would show you the footage, however.
We can't. We can't because capitalism.
Right. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the new Spider-Man. I'm excited for where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
He sold me. The kid sold me. I had super reservations going into what was it? It was the Avengers,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
He had
yeah,
his
yeah.
appearance, and he rocked it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I do the same thing. So, it's Captain America: Civil War. I keep doing
Yeah.
this. I keep doing the same thing.
Okay.
'cause
Well,
I
they were
keep
all
saying the
together. I
Avengers
assume it's an Avengers movie,
Yeah,
right?
it basically is.
Yeah.
I keep saying people look at me and I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. I guess I'm not nerd enough.
For me, the question is, can he carry a movie right now?
We'll
That's
see.
my question.
But
You have to. There's determining factors. There's the villains. Who's going to play the villains? What other characters are they going to go? Mary Jane? Or are they going to go Gwen Stacy?
I think they said, didn't they say Vulture was going to be in it?
See, Vulture's just an old guy in a green suit,
Well,
though.
but he-
Vulture's not
Well, I
appealing
think
to
Vulture's
me.
going to be one, but there's going to be. I think they said two, maybe
I
even
told
three.
those kids to get off my
Yeah.
lawn.
They said two, maybe even three villains in it. That's the thing. I think they said it's not just going to be the
See,
one.
and
it's
I-
In
gonna
the first
be-
movie,
in
or in the sixth?
either in the
movie
first
string.
between the first and second movie, I think they said there's going to be 2 to 3.
But see,
villains.
that's where
But see,
that
we already
third Tobey
know.
Maguire. One of the downfalls of that third Tobey
what I was
Maguire
gonna say.
movie,
Was that-
not only the emo dance,
Yeah.
but it's way too many villains. Way too many. There was Sandman. There was
Rhino. Right?
Venom.
Rhino, and there was Paul Giamatti did a good Rhino. Though.
Well, he does good in everything.
he really did.
It's a raw deal.
He should play the Penguin. Anybody?
I'll be just frank. I'm just tired of Batman movies right now.
That's another thing I wanted to bring up about Spider-Man. If I have to see the origin story one more time, and it's the same thing with Batman movies. Every Batman movie, we gotta watch his parents get got, and then in every Spider-Man movie, we gotta see him get bit by that spider because he's not paying attention during the field trip, and he's like,
If they're going chronologically, like, because in Captain America 2, he's already got his powers.
Yeah,
he's got
Civil
everything
War.
else. So he's ready.
See, I
hit the ground running.
I liked the very first Batman because it was just like Batman 3 weeks in, let's do this, and then kind of the origin story, but it's really just like Batman just started, y'all know what's going on, and I wish more superhero movies did that. And I hope with Spider-Man, I hope you're right in that it's like after Civil War and he's just swinging around, and I hope they treat us like we already know. Because we already know how Spider-Man has his powers. If you don't, then you're a kid, and who cares? The world's unfair. You don't need to know. And pick up a comic book or a whatever. I'm very bitter today. I don't know why.
Well, that's part of the reason I think that they're hesitant to do another Hulk movie, just because between the Eric Bana Hulk, which I thought was all right, it just wasn't.
Ang Lee directing
It's
the Hulk
all right.
movie.
He followed that up with Brokeback Mountain. I'm just letting you know that his mind was on something else.
Yeah, his mind was on an Oscar when he made Brokeback
Yeah, that's what
Mountain.
I'm saying. He's like, I'll do the Hulk.
His mind was on the check when he did the Hulk.
And then you go to Edward Norton, obviously, and obviously with Mark Ruffalo, it's a continuation of that same character, just a different actor.
I'm still mad that they replaced Edward Norton with Mark
but
Ruffalo.
Those are.
I know Edward Norton was being a jerk.
He's
I-
always a jerk. He's like,
that's
that's
so
the problem with
sad.
him.
But I admire a
So
Hulk
sad.
fan. I admire a Hulk fan that sees the Eric Bana Hulk, sees it, and it's like, no, that is not the Hulk. I'm gonna go make my own Hulk, and he makes his own Hulk. And Marvel's just like, well, we want to put that Hulk in the Avengers. Okay, but we're not gonna pay Robert Downey Jr. money. And Edward Norton's like, but wait a minute, I have the Oscar nominations here.
I did American History X.
Yes. So no, we're gonna get that guy from all those Reese Witherspoon rom-coms.
Yeah, but he's also nominated for Oscar-nominated actor too.
Now he wasn't then.
Now. I mean, it's a quality actor you got right there. You just got him at a fraction of the price.
Edward Norton got his first Academy Award nomination in his second movie ever called Primal Fear, and he was 18 years old.
Yeah, no, I watched that movie too. And,
That movie's
and guess
great.
what? Good movie, but he was not that good in it.
I'm gonna mute you. That's what's happening right now. Chris is muted. It's that show. It's that show on ESPN. What am I thinking of? Where he mutes the commentators. Yeah, I know you know what I'm talking about, Chris.
I don't.
It's over now.
I was
it's
just
over
thinking
now.
about Bill O'Reilly. Like Bill
That-
O'Reilly did
No,
crap
this was
like
Bill.
that.
This
I know
is
you're
Bill
ta-
O'Reilly.
I know you're talking about ESPN and stuff,
I'd-
but
I'd-
I don't know.
Although I'd love to see Bill O'Reilly on ESPN. I just want to see what he would do.
I no, if I was being Bill O'Reilly, I would have screamed at Chris and called his mother a hooker. That's what I would have.
Wait, how did you know that?
What?
What?
Ooh,
I was
Chris
single
comes
once.
Out. I like Ruffalo.
For sponsorship.
I like Ruffalo.
No, that moment in the Avengers, the first Avengers, when he talks about putting the bullet in his mouth and the other guy spit it out, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And it's like the delivery. That would have been overacted by Edward Norton.
Yeah,
He would have hammed it up, but Ruffalo, like
He's
like,
such
he
a
almost, like,
soft-spoken
the
guy. that
only
it
thing-
makes it even cooler when
mild
he's
mannered. You know,
Yeah.
The
just
only
right
thing,
there.
the only thing that says by Hulk spitting out the bullet is Hulk prefers other options. Get some help if you have suicidal thoughts. That's all I'm saying. Not all of us have a Hulk. I'm trying to get
Do
sponsorship,
y'all
guys.
remember? Do y'all remember back in the 80s and 90s in the back of the comic books, they had that I don't know if it was not domestic abuse, but like it had like every so often it has like the child crying and there's like the Hulk standing behind him, and it was like a very subtle message about parental abuse.
It's like,
using
why
Hulk
are you-
as the
using the
parent.
It's just like,
Really?
Wow.
yeah,
He's the
I
Hulk.
remember those. I was just
And-
like, why are you reminding
Yeah,
me? This
and
is
it's-
the reason I got you, is to distract me from the
I'm
argument going
fine.
on in there.
No, but that's what it is. It was like I remember it because it was in. I have some of them still at home, and it's not. It wasn't a huge advertisement. It was just like a little like quarter of a page, and it was like you had a kid crying in the front, and had the Hulk in the background. And it was like, every so often it's hard to contain the monster within or something like that. And it was like when you're a kid, you're not really registering it. And like, my dad hits me sometimes. And it's like, and then you're like, oh my God, this is about like, very subtly telling kids, hey, it's not okay if your dad turns green and starts beating you.
I feel like that could flip real easy. Like, oh, cool, my dad's the
My
Hulk.
dad's the Hulk.
That's awesome.
Until dad actually is the Hulk.
If you'd like to sponsor Nerd Alert, email us at nerdalerttalkshow@gmail.com. Subject, I loved your segment on domestic abuse.
Featuring the Incredible Hulk.
Featuring the Incredible Hulk. No, I love that. I'm not bringing it back to football, but football used to do that.
Football!
Where they had domestic abuse
They
commercials.
still do it. They did in the
Like,
middle
why are
of the
you
Super
telling
Bowl.
me? You guys are the ones doing it. Why are y'all telling me? I'm fine.
It's I'm sorry, and it's one of the worst promotions in the world. Not that you can actually blame him for this, but when Hardy is gonna go into MMA, and it's like, well, now he's gonna get paid to do it.
Oh, for sponsorship.
They're gonna
Once
sponsor
again.
him this time to
Other
beat people.
Other than that, unless anybody else looked up some movie and TV news, Stu, if you have a favorite show that you want to get off your chest, that concludes TV and movie news. Unless somebody else has something.
I got something actually. I
Okay.
don't know if y'all saw that Disney is looking at buying Netflix,
Ooh.
and now
They're the
this
only
is-
ones who have the money for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's pretty
now
much
it's
it.
preliminary, and now who does Disney own?
Marvel
And what does Netflix produce?
Marvel shows.
Yeah. So what
They wouldn't have the Inhumans problem if
No.
Disney bought
Well,
Netflix.
that's the thing. What the talk is now is that they're saying, well, now you might end up seeing Daredevil on the big screen. You might end up seeing.
They should just do that now. They
Well,
can
but
do
that's
that
the thing.
now.
Is like because now they can put it all under one roof, and say we're gonna do this, we can do this, and do this, and this, and now that kind of goes into Doctor Strange and everything else because it's setting up.
They are so like DC is so far behind right now.
Well, they
like,
started so late.
They did, and now it's just way too late.
That and Batman v Superman was supposed to be their kickstart, right? That was supposed
Yeah.
to be what was gonna get
And
them.
I've said this on previous episodes. There should have been a Ben Affleck solo Batman movie before that to establish the Batman before we got that whatever we got.
because we all love origin stories.
I mean,
We could use one more,
we
or
could,
two or three.
But when it's Batman, though, when it's Batman, we've seen it so much. They should have just had Ben Affleck solo Batman movie, loosely based on a legendary comic, maybe like a long Halloween movie. That would have been dope. And then do Batman versus Superman. But when it's like you're bringing in a new Batman into a Superman movie, first of all, you're cutting down the worth of Batman. You're saying Superman's above him, and I don't like that because he's not. Superman was only created because we were at war at the time, and Superman and Captain America, the same way, were a way of building up war comics. Batman was his first own original. There was no war going on, and probably psychologically one of the darkest characters ever invented. Oh, yeah. So to put him below Superman, and then for them not even to fight till the end of the movie, like everything else is like, you have to watch Jesse Eisenberg do a Joker Lex Luthor that was terrible.
Well, but at least, and that's the one thing you can say about it. At least is that it was an original take, and that was the one thing people slammed Superman Returns on was Kevin Spacey playing Lex Luthor, and I thought Kevin Spacey
was
did a brilliant. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah,
because you actually got to see that maniacal, like just when he loses his temper, and you never got to see Gene Hackman do that. You never really got to see the.
I did in Welcome to Mooseport. No one remembers that movie. That was Gene Hackman's last movie with Ray Romano. It was terrible.
Last movie, Gene.
Oh, Gene.
I miss you, Gene.
You can just
Come back to movies.
there's acting, and then there's like I shouldn't have done this movie type of acting,
Oh, gosh.
where it's like you see that in Gene Hackman's face throughout the whole movie.
That was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with Sean Connery.
Yeah, oh my
Am I
god.
actually doing this?
Well,
jeez.
you know, the reason he did that, the
Alex
reason
Quartermain.
Sean Connery did League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, it's on topic because League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is an Alan Moore comic.
Don't watch it; it's horrible.
It's a terrible movie.
Yes.
But the only reason Sean Connery did that is because he turned down a little film called The Matrix, and that ended up blowing
Oh,
up.
and what else did he turn down?
He
too?
also turned down,
Gandalf.
yeah, he turned
Are
down
you
the Lord of the
serious?
Rings
Like
trilogy.
Gandalf. He turned it down.
So he got the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen script and went, fine, I'll do it.
This sounds
And
great.
It turned out to be terrible.
I'm gonna retire.
Come on. Like, and I went to see that movie for Sean Connery, but the League of Extraordinary, and like,
As did we all.
To me, like don't you guys assume that anything that Sean Connery's in is going to be good? You know,
Well, you
like
would think.
that's
Well,
why
no,
I went to
I just
see
want
that
to point
movie.
out. I just want to point out that the one Oscar he won for The Untouchables, he played a character named Malone. Just saying.
Whoa.
This is why you
bro.
come on the show, so you can just brag
Whoa.
about what characters have been named after you. Hey, in Batman.
They're more famous than I'm ever going to be. It's okay.
Oh no, I'd have to
I'd have to
give out my real name if I bragged about what I was about to brag about.
Whoa.
Okay, before you move on though,
Wait, Danzy's not your name?
what was Sean Connery's role going to be in The Matrix?
He not Morpheus, but he was enrolled to play like the voice of the bots. Or no, not the voice.
was the
Agent Smith. He was gonna be Agent Smith.
No.
Yeah, he was gonna be Agent Smith.
Well, I thought
Okay.
I thought he was going to be the architect. I didn't think he was going to be Agent Smith.
No. This is when because you gotta remember this is first Matrix. Like they didn't even know if they were gonna do a trilogy yet.
Okay.
He was going to be Agent Smith, and because it was computer animated, they were like, "Yeah, we can get Sean Connery. It doesn't matter because like we're just going to replace him with artificial. We're just going to replace him with special effects anyway."
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson. I mean, look at that guy's. I mean, that accent's very similar to Sean Connery, kind of. But isn't that funny? That guy went on to Lord of the Rings and like ended up making a bunch
Lord
of money.
Elrond.
Any other TV news that we?
Well, I
have?
was gonna say back on the Netflix thing.
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
them getting bought up. Now it's definitely setting up something because there's been talk in the not really official yet, but it's been out there that they're thinking about rebooting as a series, Blade. Now with the release of Doctor Strange.
That's one thing we need. Wesley Snipes not doing any more
Well,
taxes.
No, but that's the thing. They're talking about doing a Blade series with Doctor Strange doing and then doing a Blade show. They've already established Ghost Rider in Marvel's Agent of Shield.
That's just so weird.
Well, it's what what I think they're setting up too is there was, and this is going into my comic book obscurity, because now I collected comic books that nobody ever collected. The only one that I collected that turned into anything was Blade before the movies came out. And there was a group called the Midnight Suns, and then it consisted of Doctor Strange, Hannibal King, Blade,
Yeah.
and a bunch of other supernatural mystic beings who were brought together to defend Earth against supernatural and mystical powers. So if you're looking at Doctor Strange, which is a box office success, and there's going to be at least another movie and this that, and then you're going to have a Blade series, and then you've already introduced Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider is one of the Midnight Suns. You already have the makings of that group, and they already mentioned in Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the Darkhold, which is a big part of the Midnight Suns series. And that's part of how, and Blade actually uses the Darkhold at some point in time to.
It's what I call Ralphie's poop, the dark hole.
As long as if it's in your bed, it's something else. But I heard
For
that's-
sponsorship.
No, but that's the thing. So that's what I think they're building up to, is that they're prepping it for another kind of run. So if you're going to do an Inhumans TV show, you're going to do, and you have all these other little ones, the Defenders. There's no reason they couldn't do a Midnight Suns, which they've already established half the cast.
Yeah,
They could easily do that because it's going to appeal to that darker. Because that's one criticism people had of Doctor Strange.
Here's the
really
thing.
dark.
Here's the thing, Marvel. I want a life. You know, I want some form of life.
It's never going to end.
I don't want to be in my apartment all day watching your shows. I want to go out there. I want to be social. I want to meet the right girl. And just kidding. I'm kidding. The wedding's off now.
Yeah.
All right.
It's over.
I blew it.
Wow. She's got Ralphie. She'll be fine.
She's good. The other girl in this relationship, Ralphie. We gotta start showing pictures of him on the show.
Yes, we do.
That is their most
He's so
ridiculously
adorable.
photogenic dog in the world.
He's Santa's little helper from The Simpsons
he
in
gives
just
you-
live action.
He never
form.
looks directly at the camera. He always gives you the side
No.
look.
We tested him. We did an
We
intelligence
did
test.
we did the intelligence test yesterday.
Oh, no.
It's where you put a cookie under a cup. All right, you show like in his case it's a bacon strip. So I show him the bacon strip like I'm going to give it to him. Then I put it under a cup and I put it on the floor. Now if the dog's intelligent, the dog knows that this treat is under the cup, knocks over the cup, eats the treat. Ralphie,
Nah.
we eventually just had to pick up the cup and just
No.
I
like,
feel like most children wouldn't pass this test. I'm not sure.
Well,
no, I know. Children would pass this.
um,
And then the next test was under a blanket, and then they would go under the blanket and get it. We didn't even get to intelligence test number 3. It was
I'm actually curious. What was intelligence test number 3?
intelligence test number 3 is pretty much a bucket or just something heavier than a cup. That's pretty much it.
And the thing is that like I will have
Special
like,
needs dog.
I'll be on the couch when I'm in like work mode, when I'm making a film schedule or whatever. I'll be sitting on the couch and all of my crap is spread out all over the couch. So I'm taking up the entire couch. Dude is just like, oh, mama, you got up to get some coffee?
so needy.
And then he just jumps up in my spot, scatters my papers all over the place. And I'm just like, really?
He's just like a cat.
Really,
He's
dog?
like a 150-pound cat.
Is he 150 pounds?
No, he's
He's
like
about
50 or 60.
Really? Is he only just 50?
He's
a
50,
big
yeah.
dog.
Because my cat weighs 50 pounds, so she's
Oh.
she's pretty. She's a large cat.
Are you serious?
In fact, now that I think about it, my cat
almost.
might be a human, actually. It's weird. So yeah, that's our dog. Any other TV movie news? Because we were talking comics, and this week we have a Jonny Archibald collected editions. It's one of our favorite moments on the show, right?
Yes. Yes.
So he is back with 2 comics this week because he missed out on last week, and they're my personal favorites. And here you go. Enjoy another episode of Jonny Archibald's collected editions.
Hi, what's up, everybody? It's Jonny Archibald here. I've got my dog, so she's gonna be doing dog stuff. Don't worry about her. Just wanted to run by some releases with you guys. Talk about some of the recent stuff I picked up and suggest good comics for everybody. Let's get into it. This recently came out in an absolute edition, which means it's really big, but it is Preacher. I am showing this to you. This is the just the slipcase for it. The actual book itself looks kind of like a Bible. It's really cool. What I like about this is that unlike the hardcovers they released this thing a few years ago, this is actually substantial, good page quality, good build. You get good oversized Steve Dillon artwork. God rest his soul. Recently was taken from us. Written by Garth Ennis, a very kind of gritty, kind of gross writer. Like, he writes, I mean, some of it in there is just brutal. They would never get away with doing that on the show. So if you've seen the show and you think comics anything like it, I mean, the characters are somewhat like it, but the plot and just some of the insane things that happen is just not gonna be anywhere near. Now, what is Preacher about? Okay, so like, there's this preacher, Jesse Custer, and his congregation's just lit up and burned to a crisp. He's the only survivor, and he's blessed with this thing called the Genesis. And what is that? I'm not telling. But basically, whatever he says, you just kind of have to do. Now, then he goes off on a quest to actually find God, who's kind of ditched heaven, wanted to go play some skee ball or something like that. So he spends the series trying to find God with his vampire friend Cassidy. Yes, he's a vampire. Don't judge him. He's a good guy. And his girlfriend, on again, off again, Tulip. They just kind of go around having crazy, fun shenanigans, and it's fun for the whole family, except anyone under 18. Highly objectionable content, but it's still a very endearing story. You still really enjoy learning about these characters, where they've been, and it's just surprisingly good. I can't recommend it enough. The first volume is out now in absolute form. I also wanted to talk a bit about Batman. I just got this awesome piece on my arm of Jock's Joker, courtesy of Puppet Rodriguez at Ancient Ink. You should stop by. He does great work. This actually comes from a story, Batman the Black Mirror. And here's the hardcover out. You can get the trade paperback as well. There's also a black and white noir edition, which to me just means black and white. It's not so much noir. This is a really good Batman story, and it's the first I would suggest. A lot of people will say, oh, you should read Year One, or Long Halloween, or Dark Knight Returns. But once you read those stories, there's really no other stories that could compare to those. Those are like the best Batman stories you'll ever read. So this is a much cleaner introduction. It's not even Bruce Wayne Batman. It's Dick Grayson Batman. It's a Black Mirror with great art by Jock and Francesco Francavilla throughout. I thought this was a collection of just random stories starring Dick Grayson Batman, but it actually ended up being one cohesive story, and I'm not going to spoil too much, but there's an underlying villain and an underlying theme to the whole thing that really caught me off guard. I actually can't remember what the Black Mirror itself is in reference to. I know that there is a gang of no-gooders that like to trade supervillain stuff on the black market. There's a mystery of a whale showing up in a bank lobby, and just weird, cool one-off stories like that, interconnected by this backup tale that ends up being the main plot. So those are my suggestions this week: Batman the Black Mirror and Preacher Absolute Edition. And,
Yeah. Yeah, he was talking about Black Mirror. I actually own it myself. Go out and get a Black Mirror. I brought this 30 miles just to go. I have it too. Go see it or read it, whatever. I like Black Mirror. It's one of my favorite Batman comics. But he's right. Long Halloween and Dark Knight Returns pretty much have their own little place in the comic book world as the Batman comics. And like when your Batman comic has reached a status that Long Halloween and Dark Knight Returns has, it pretty much gets to the point where it's like what did Tim Burton read before he did the Batman movie? He read Long Halloween, he read Dark Knight Returns. What did Christopher Nolan read? All that stuff. So when your comic book is read by directors and some of your storylines are used in movies, you're pretty much like, that's how everybody follows Batman, is through those stories. So good picks. Preacher's good. I was going to have a little tribute up for Steve Dillion. He, comic book artist, recently passed away. But then I thought that's too much, and I don't want to make the show like boring or miserable, more than it already is. So yeah, decided not to do that.
Speak for yourself.
So
So just
apparently in the course of the
Speak for
past 10
yourself.
minutes, Misty's found herself single, and the show's falling apart.
well, you know, life, as Jeff Goldblum says, life finds a way, or a new
finds a way.
fiance.
What? I doubt it.
Don't worry, we'll get you an okay.
I've
Cupid
taken
profile.
off
We'll
the
do
hat. I've taken off the hat. The attitude's gone up on the show.
You have hat hair.
This is when we boost it to 80.
Does it go to 11?
That. We're doing that.
Movie
I was going to
reference.
say, is it 88 miles per hour from Back to the Future?
It's 88.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 96 degrees.
All right.
Crappy music reference.
It's just.
No, I'm sorry, I
It's
didn't
gone.
even say it right. It's 98 degrees.
I was gonna say, I'm like, no, it's all right. They're 2 degrees off. That's been their whole career. We get
2 degrees off.
because
the
the
terrible
2
reference you
degrees
got.
were Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. That's
This
the 2
show-
degrees they were off by.
This show has gone to. This show just got married to Jessica Simpson. Is what happened on this
Wait,
show.
is she available?
I'm sure.
I mean,
I don't know what she's
right now,
doing now.
right now, I'll take what I can get. And I'm just,
Also, if you.
if Tony Romo can get her, I can get her.
That is true. Tony Romo did
Football commentary.
hit that.
Yeah.
Tony and Kelly Clark,
And
not
he
Kelly
dumped
Clarkson,
her on like her birthday.
and on her birthday.
Oh, that's
Carrie
terrible.
Underwood.
Carrie Underwood. That's
Could
right.
She
Wait a
sings
day?
the Monday Night Football song now.
I was just saying he couldn't wait a day instead
Well,
of
he
dumping
didn't-
her on
I
her
wouldn't have waited a
birthday.
day either because she was planning this whole Barbie Ken birthday bash for herself. Like, I would have backed out too.
If I look at Tony
Oh, I
Romo,
see,
I don't
I
see
see.
Ken. That's
Tony-
the worst thing about
Yeah,
it.
you're
I
not
mean,
wrong.
in Tony's defense, she was kind of weird. Anyway, so if you're watching on our live stream right now, we actually have the live stream up on our third computer here, and we got the chat box open. So if you want to send us messages, just keep them. Don't be like my Facebook and put something completely vile and disgusting and try to offend me. Don't troll. Don't troll.
There's a delay. I'm not moving. Look at that.
All right. Anyway, you can leave it in the chat box. We'll be reading the chat box
Yes,
throughout the
yes.
show. They
We-
told us that was available, and we just finally remembered it.
Someone talk to us.
Someone talk
Someone talk to us.
My buddy Roger, one of my filmmaker friends, left us a comment last time,
And we
last
totally
show,
ignored it.
and we didn't know it was there. We
So
didn't have
one
the
friend
comment
wanted to
box
talk
up.
to you, and
Well, I
He's
mean,
not tuning in this week.
not anymore. You lost a fan.
He's going to go listen to Jason Mewes be sober. He's going to go listen to that podcast. What's that podcast called?
What?
Jay and
Jason
Silent
Mewes-
Bob Get Old.
Jay and Silent Bob get old, yeah.
That's what he's listening to now because they actually talk back to their
Do they?
audience. We're just like, yeah.
We're like, oh, we forgot you were there.
So let's, you know what we should do?
Ooh, dance.
No.
What?
You already got it
I,
started.
I like that spirit.
Yeah.
We should hear Malone's movie review, and then we should talk to Stu
Yeah.
about LOL for a cause because we need to get this out there because more people need to be involved. It's a great organization for Denton. Also,
kids,
and kids
comics.
and kids and comics.
And kids.
For my
and, you know,
ego.
Kid comics who beat me in funniest comic in Texas
Okay.
competitions.
Still better.
Still yeah, still bitter.
That was
I
like
don't
a month
drink any.
ago.
I don't drink anymore, guys. You just gotta let me. You just gotta let it wear
He
off.
just drinks the bitters right from the bottle.
You just gotta let it wear off of me. All right. But yeah. So Chris did some movie reviewing. That's terrible when I say it like that. Chris reviewed a movie. Hold on, Chris, because I made this.
Yeah, wait. Well, it's up, and I'll give you a voiceover on it.
No. I was gonna do a little theme song.
Oh, okay.
It's Malone at the movies, all by himself. Yeah.
Oh.
That's not the
That
worst
was-
rhyme I've ever had on my name.
You totally should have had like a person in the seat though.
Sitting by himself.
Just the
crying.
back.
Hold on.
I thought that's what you were gonna do.
Hold on. Here.
Malone at the movies. What's that in the popcorn? That feels weird. Oh, this is gross. I'm going home. Uber.
For to sponsor Nerd Alert, email us at nerdalerttalkshow@gmail.com.
I'll let you know one of the words that rhymes with Malone is I'll give you a name is fibia, or radius, which also rhymes with Malone. Can I say bone?
You can say bone.
Okay.
We can do innuendos and
Okay.
stuff.
Well, but bone.
we just
is,
can't cuss.
it was, you know,
She's like sponsors and stuff like that. What I said was completely fine.
when I was a kid, it was Chris Malone's all alone on the telephone with a bone.
What?
These were the Dallas Cowboy bullies
Yes.
you were speaking of.
It's starting
These
weird,
kids ruined my youth.
You've held this grudge over people that
I wasn't nearly as intelligent back then. That five
Clearly.
concussions later, it went from mush to solid.
They gave you a theme
something.
song, and you
they
still
gave you a
have it.
theme song.
They do. It's like, trust me, I lay awake at night just rocking. Not all over the.
So, Chris, what movie did you happen to review? I mean, I already know. We're
I
gonna
know
pretend
you
like
know.
we don't know.
Well,
I'm just gonna swallow the mic over here.
I was
I'm
gonna
sorry.
say,
Making fun
is
of
this?
you.
Can I? Is this a spoiler free? Do I need to be spoiler free? It's
right,
been out
guys.
for a week.
Guys,
I mean,
guys,
Hey.
hold on. We need to have like a Nerd Alert decision here. Nerd
We
Alert
need to-
board meeting.
I can spoiler free. I can do it. With
I don't
spoilers.
plan on
We-
saying it.
We need to have a little chat here.
Ooh.
I
Yes,
can't
we
go
need
to commercials, so we
have
need
a
to
little
figure this
chat
out,
here.
right? Okay.
No, between us and the viewers.
Okay.
So
Look in the camera.
we need
if
to,
you
we need
if
to
you
have
are
a little
watching,
chat here.
if you are watching and you don't
you're
want to hear,
stealing my moment.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead.
You're stealing my moment.
You're stealing my
Um,
heart.
Aw.
Is the
no,
engagement back on?
I was just gonna say, guys, this movie, Doctor Strange, that has been out for a week. I think if you really had wanted to see it, you would have seen it already.
Yeah.
Oh, mic drop, but don't drop that mic. It's really expensive.
Yeah, it's not yours.
It's not ours.
So
yeah.
there
It's not
might
ours.
be a couple of spoilers. So plug your ears for about 5 minutes.
Plug thine ears.
And
Yeah.
and Chris, I'll ask you a couple questions. That way you're not.
Yeah, it's easier to prompt because I don't
So-
want to sit here and just give the same review that everybody, including Kevin Smith, has already gone out and given.
So
on
just a
YouTube,
couple
so-
questions.
Yes.
Did you see the movie Alone?
Oh yeah.
you have
Actually,
a
no.
phone?
To make it even more sad, I went to see it with people, and
They left?
They
They
left.
did. They stopped answering their phone.
Oh.
So, and I didn't know what show they were in, so I just bought a ticket. And do not make fun of Eric Carbon. Why do I know that name?
That is a great song.
He also sings "Hungry Eyes," by the way.
Really?
Hungry eyes.
Hey,
Look at you in
if
a
YouTube-
grand disguise.
if YouTube won't let us play it, we're gonna sing it.
Yeah, that's
That'll
that's
show
my
'em.
interpretation. They can't take that away from me.
All right, so Doctor Strange, how long was it?
It was actually really short. It was under 2 hours.
Yay.
And for an origin film, especially since Iron Man, which you can argue was the start of the whole ball rolling on the MCU films. It was
Marvel Universe.
Marvel Universe, yeah. I just didn't want to
MCU. Is what
MC. I know. I was gonna say the MCU universe, and that just wouldn't make any sense. But it was under 2 hours, and they were. And I'll tell you, it was directed by Scott Derrickson, who also directed Sinister, Deliver Us from Evil, Hellraiser, Inferno, The Day the Earth Stood Still with Keanu Reeves.
That was a good
version.
What
a resume.
And The Exorcism of Emily Rose. So he's basically just doing all these horror films, and they say, no, you can direct Doctor Strange.
Really?
Now, the cinematography, and this is, I think, what saved it, was by Ben Davis, who also did The Age of Ultron, Guardians of the Galaxy, Kick-Ass, and Stardust, which is actually an adaptation of one of my favorite authors, Neil Gaiman's novel. So he has a resume, and he actually made this film. It looked really well shot, well acted. I mean, it's Benedict Cumberbatch, so say what you will. And I actually had to write this down because I didn't want to mispronounce his name. Chiwetel Ejiofor.
You did it anyways.
He is actually Firefly fans might know him from the Serenity movie.
Well, that's the thing. He's in The Martian, 12 Years a Slave. I mean, he's been around for forever and a day. You know, so many names: Rachel McAdams, Benedict Wong, Mads Mikkelsen. Who the first time I ever saw him was in Valhalla Rising, when he played One Eye.
Sure.
If you don't watch it, you want to know how great this actor is. He basically spends this whole movie Valhalla Rising not saying a word. He doesn't speak.
Oh, really?
He doesn't say one word.
Goodness.
And it's a Viking art film. I'm not even joking. That's basically what it is. It's the way it's shot and everything. Anyways, that's not this movie. This is Doctor Strange.
This is not a Viking art.
This is not a Viking art.
So about the movie.
Yeah.
How is Benedict Cumberbatch's acting? Is it just Sherlock Holmes dressed in a cape?
No, not at all. Because first of all, and he's getting so much flack, and people forget that it's not just the actor's decision; it's also the directors and the producers and stuff like that.
What's he getting?
He puts on an American accent.
He actually does that quite well.
Yeah.
Well, but it's when he does it, he's kind of up here because he's all in his nose.
Tell he's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it. He has to do it. But you're still looking at him. He still has that same kind of resonance in his voice.
Maybe they should have just made him British.
Well, but that's the argument a lot of people are saying. It's like and Kevin Smith's the Batman and Fat Man on movies.
Yeah.
I watched that before I came here, and they're like, "Well, why didn't they just let him be British?" I'm like, "Well, you know, people when you make comic book movies, they catch so much flack for not being faithful to the comics, and they get anger, like you said. They change a character's name, and it's like, well, so what? In the comics, Doctor Strange is not British, but the actor is. So it's a choice. They said, he's American. Let's make him American. Can you do American? Yeah, and Benedict Cumberbatch is a great actor. He can do an American accent, and he pulls it off. It's like you said, he is kind of thinking about it.
It's passable, yeah.
But he doesn't slip out of it like a lot of actors end up doing. Not like Kevin Costner in Prince of Thieves, where it's just
In 12 Years a Slave, he slipped out. It was bad.
Well, but that was a great movie, though.
Oh yeah, but Benedict Cumberbatch was not the highlight of that movie.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is because you look at it, the like Southern accents, and that's the one thing that you'll see, and a lot of people don't know this in. Band of Brothers, Simon Pegg had a bit role in the first couple episodes as like the kind of like the assistant to what's his name, Ross from Friends,
David Schwimmer.
Schwimmer. Dang, I almost said David Spade. Schwimmer, and he shows up, and you're looking at him, and he just goes, "I got orders for you, sir," and you're like, "What is that?" And it's because you'll always see it if not always, but more often than not, you'll see a British actor or someone with from the UK affecting a Southern accent because it's easier for them to achieve, as opposed to whereas Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, he kind of has that. It's a little more it's non-regional.
Non-regional is a good word because I did not know where he was from in America.
He's because he's just who he is now. But that's the thing you were talking about, like as. He's not Sherlock with a cape. He's
Sherlock impersonating an American with a cape.
He's not a high functioning sociopath.
Okay.
And he is just arrogant.
He's just a jerk.
He's a
Stu, have you seen the movie?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I loved it. I loved
I
the
did
movie.
You
too.
loved it?
And that was the thing, is that it got some crap on it, and some of the things that people are celebrating about it, I had a problem with too. Like, I literally watched, I can't remember which one of the podcasts where they're like, "Oh, the car accident scene was so well shot." I'm like, it's not even the most important scene. It's like it's like out of that whole film, it's like, okay, that's how he gets to where he is, and that's direct from the comics. He gets in a comic book, and they even say in the comic book it suggested he may have been drinking. This time he was texting and driving, which is a little more.
They gotta throw that
Shame.
out there at us every
Yeah.
time.
So it's like, let's beat you over the head with it, and yeah, he
At least
gets
he
in the
wasn't Snapchatting. I mean, that was
yeah, at least it wasn't Snap yet. But so he gets, the whole thing. He's just arrogant, and then that's where the character evolves from. Is that this arrogant, egotistical, this and can I say ass? This ass.
You can say ass.
Um,
You can't say what Stu said earlier by
Oops.
mistake.
well, this ass of a man. When basically everything he knew and was just completely goes away, and he has to rebuild. And people were saying, "Oh, it's Tony Stark with magic." It's like, not at all. That's like one of the worst comparisons, because Tony Stark is his and it was repeated a lot of times. It's just, it's this Iron Man with magic, and it's not that at all. Because Tony Stark, nothing about him changes, except when he actually sees the impact and he's actually revealed to the damage he's actually done to the world. When I can't remember, the guy in the cave with him dies, and it turns him, and he sees the world from a different viewpoint. Strange has everything taken away, just from he can't have any more ego. He can't have any like that, and he literally goes flat broke.
Yeah.
Trying to.
I feel like Tony
fix
Stark's
things.
values change because of
Yeah.
what happens to him, but Doctor Strange, like, he's a dynamic character. He changes completely.
Yeah, he goes from here to here, and now he keeps the ego. And when you get to the climax of the film, that ego is used for good.
It comes back.
It comes
Yeah.
back, but it's also for the right, especially in the first post credit sequence,
Right.
where it's the
I can take on Infinity.
yeah, I can do this. This is fine. I can stay here. With
I
you
heard
forever."
it was a lot of people chasing each other in the streets on foot. Like, there was too much of that. Foot chasing stuff.
Here's the
People in funny costumes.
the thing I think people had a problem.
chasing each other.
They had a problem with this because when you look at all the other films that Marvel has done,
It's epic stuff.
It's also is it's kind of like mixing the Avengers with Harry Potter in a way. You can,
I hate Harry Potter.
because there's not much. Because the thing is that you
I really hate my Harry Potter.
because the main reason is when you look at Iron Man, you look at Captain America, it's all physical battling. You actually it's metal on
But
metal,
see,
it's
with,
knuckle on
with
knuckle.
Harry Potter, though,
No, but that's the thing is that now because when you're the Sorcerer Supreme, which
no, it's just this build-up. The whole movie is this build-up in Harry Potter of this epic fight. And then, like, you get to the fight, and it's just two grown people going, abracadabra!
they botched the ending of Harry Potter.
I never...
I read the book several times. Trust
They
me,
made-
the ending in the book is so much more.
You replace the magic wands with guns, I'm in.
Well, see,
I'm in on Harry
See,
Potter.
that's the thing is that because what they do, they say there's a lot of running and a lot of chasing and stuff. Well, yeah, because when you look at the story that's going on in Doctor Strange, when you got the Hong Kong, the London, and the New York sanctuaries, sanctum. I'm losing my word here. The sanctum sanctorums. Trying to remember the words.
If I could make portals, I would
Sanctum
not
Sanctorum.
walk or run anywhere.
If I could
So-
make portals,
because they got the sling rings.
I would just leave the world that's in danger and just go to, like, Earth 3 or something, you know? I'd just be like, this place
Now,
sucks.
see, the
And
thing
then
is-
just go somewhere. Trump is president.
Well, that's another big thing in it is that there's a lot of they're introducing dimensions more than they ever have before, and they're definitely setting up everything. And supposedly the main villain in the next Doctor Strange film is going to be Nightmare.
Nice. I do like Nightmare.
And he's one of the biggest enemies, not only of Doctor Strange but of Ghost Rider. So just deal with it. Ghost Rider's going to be here to stay.
Just give it back to Nicolas
So-
Cage.
No.
Give it to Nicolas Cage now.
No.
Give Nick a chance.
I want
One
to see
more.
Wicker Man 3. That's what I want to see.
Give me the Weatherman 2.
No, but that's what's going on. Is that so? They're introducing the dimensions more. So in this one they introduced the dark dimension. They bring in another Infinity Stone, the Time Stone,
How many are we at now? How many
I
Infinity
think
Stones?
we're at 4 or 5. 4.
We're at no, yeah, no, we're at the second to last one because the next one is going to be revealed in Black Panther, and I guess there's no wait, maybe Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I know there was one in the first one,
Well,
but there could be another one.
Because
I don't know. Marvel knows.
yeah.
We don't.
Well, what have we had already? We've had the Time Stone with Doctor Strange. You
And
had
then
the,
Loki with his
You had the Tesseract.
the Tesseract.
Then you
and
have
then
the Ether.
the one from Guardians of the Galaxy.
The Power Stone? Was
Power
that the
Stone.
And then what's the one that Vision has? That's from the Tesseract.
The one that
Isn't it?
the one that Vision poops every so often.
No, that's the Mind Stone.
I did
That's
it
the Mind
again.
Stone. Yes,
Right, that's separate.
That's in his head. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So-
5.
That's 5.
So we got like two more or 3 more.
Well, it fits on the glove, right?
Yeah.
So it's
No. We still need one more, because there's also one in the center of the
so
hand.
there's 6. So we're gonna
Yeah.
get one more, and that might be in Black Panther or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Probably.
But and that's the thing is that what they started doing is
God,
that
I hate Marvel now that we talk about
Well,
this.
like I said, they set up dimensions, and they brought in Dormammu, who's the lord of the dark dimension, and they also
That's Marilyn Manson.
well, that too. And then obviously, and then when you're looking at it, Nightmare is the lord of the dream dimension. Then, of course, in Ant-Man, and probably in Ant-Man and Wasp that they're going to be making, they'll probably be exploring the quantum realm even more. They're going more and more into this to introduce. I think they're going into the gods.
Yeah.
I think that's where they're
'Cause-
leading to eventually.
I mean, yeah, because
Yeah.
they're going to do Thor and Doctor
Yeah.
Strange. That's
Well, and
like,
Thor and Doctor Strange and Hulk though, because Hulk's going to be in it as well.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, Hulk's
Hulk's-
going to be in
yeah.
Thor Ragnarok. They're going to send Hulk into space. It's going to be the beginning of
Yeah.
Hulk in space.
Well, they said that because Doctor Strange.
Misty had this look
I'm
on her
like-
face
I'm
like,
like-
they put Hulk in
I'm
space.
like, Hulk
they
in
did.
space? Like-
what they're
I'm
thinking,
sold.
what they're saying, the thing they're doing is that they don't think they can do a Planet Hulk.
No.
What they think they're going to do is take parts of the Doctor Strange Illuminati story bit, because he was the Illuminati is part of the group that sent Hulk off planet because they couldn't take care of him anymore. They're like, he's just too unruly. We can't take care of him.
Is Anonymous in there too somewhere?
I don't know. I have no. This is just
ISIS.
assumption at this point.
ISIS.
yeah.
But we know that in the setup, in the first post-credit scene in Doctor Strange, you literally, oh look, Thor showed up. There you go, Thor, and he's just sitting there and
Yeah.
does a
Drinking
little,
lots of beer.
little comical thing with a
I-
beer mug that keeps refilling.
I hope with the next Ant-Man, they probably won't do it with Ant-Man and Wasp, but I would really just for like one split, 2 weeks for America to hate Paul Rudd when they get to the Hank Pym domestic abuse storyline, if they ever do.
Well, I think isn't that why they skipped Hank Pym though?
No. Oh no, you know what? Yeah, Michael Douglas plays
Yeah,
Hank Pym,
that's why.
and Paul
that's
Rudd
one
plays
of
a
the
different.
reasons.
Well,
Yeah.
end of show.
Am I out geeking you right now?
You are.
Ooh.
No, I only saw Ant-Man once, and it just felt like a Paul Rudd rom-com with a little
Well, but-
superhero
see,
in
but
it.
here's-
Didn't even
here's-
feel like a superhero
But
movie.
going back to I almost said Doctor Who, Doctor Strange. Speaking of time and relative space,
God, David Tennant would have played an awesome
I
Doctor
love
Strange.
Doctor. Yeah, but the problem is
Let's
Jessica
just-
Jones. He's in the universe.
So-
man.
But his American accent's even worse.
How many
Oh, yeah,
how
it's
many
horrible.
beards are you gonna rate this movie?
Beards.
How many
4 out of 5 beards?
Is it out of 5? No,
If you want to come up with something different
I
other
don't-
than
I don't-
beards,
one horrible British accent for no, I don't know. It's excellent. It's go see it. It's part of it. It's not going to be the same thing that people destroyed Iron Man and Iron Man 3 for because
who destroyed those movies?
because people had problems because after Iron Man 2 and they got so used to all this action.
I
and
mean,
blowing
I
stuff up,
destroyed
and
Iron
then-
Man 2. Iron Man 2 was terrible.
And then God forbid we start telling character story. People don't want to see that. They just want
No.
to see action and blowing things up.
No.
That's part of what people
Like, do
had.
you want to see all this? Oh, no, that's terrible. I'm not saying that. Never mind. Go on ahead.
I liked the romance, the character story of Doctor Strange. I thought they did
Yeah.
that really well. They because he had his love interest.
And it wasn't overwhelming.
It
too.
wasn't
like
overwhelming.
a huge
and
part of the story.
it was the comic relief at the same time. So
Yeah.
I think it was just really well put together.
Yeah,
I'll put it
it
in
was
a
good.
I'll put it in a better context because I was about to say a context that was very inappropriate and it was like 9/11 related. But so you're saying, oh, who doesn't want to see? What would you rather if you had to go back and watch Titanic? Let's just say you know what? When you go back and watch Titanic,
I'm sorry, that will never happen.
do you? But let's just say if you do you watch all the first hour or 2 hours,
No, you
or
skip
do
to
you
the end.
you skip to the crash? You skip to when it's sinking.
Oh yeah.
That's
if you're
what.
a dude, if you're a chick, like you saw it when you were like 10.
If I want to take
you're-
drawing lessons, I'll definitely watch the first part of the movie.
That's right.
Uh,
Because Leonardo DiCaprio is a great artist.
Leonardo DiCaprio was on fire around that time. I never saw. I've never seen Titanic though.
I
When
never,
he came
I never
out-
liked him.
In
That
Romeo
movie made
and
like
Ju-
over $1 billion. How did you not see it?
I was
You're the
twe-
one person that didn't see that movie.
I was 12. I was like angry and wearing flannels.
Don't
and
do it.
Well, he
Don't
was
do it
like
to yourself.
14. You know,
I was that.
Don't
I
common
liked
ground.
him from Romeo and Juliet, but I never saw Titanic.
Save-
I was
save your
watching
brain.
Romeo and Juliet all the
Save
time.
your
at the
brain.
time.
Save your brain. Don't watch Titanic.
I have never.
We can
seen
watch
Titanic
the last
before.
part where the sink ships, and then
But-
the epic debate on
Well,
does
let's-
Rose have enough
let's-
room?
She does.
She totally does.
But pour one
Totally
out for
does.
the real heroes, the musicians on the deck, because
Oh, whatever. They still expect a check at the end of that.
it's been a pleasure playing
Because-
with you, gentlemen.
Because I totally forgot what I was about to say, but yeah. Because I enjoyed The Notebook. I like The Notebook. Will I enjoy Titanic if I liked The Notebook? Like the sappy, like sometimes I need like a sappy girl
Yeah,
movie
you
to
just-
watch.
you
It's
just-
like the Notebook if there was a meteorite crash at the end, like
Okay.
No,
basically.
you brought a funny story into my head. My dad had watched The Notebook, and he had turned into one of these people who like loved The Notebook after seeing it. And he sits down with my grandmother, his mom, and she's 88 years old, and she's just deaf and whatever. But so she's not all there, right? So he's telling her the story of The Notebook, and this is in front of me and my brother, and we're like, Dad, please don't.
Oh no.
And he's explaining the whole plot, and he's like tearing up, and he
serious?
finally gets to the end, and he's like, yeah, and then she forgets him again. And then there's just this pause, and my grandmother goes, well, that doesn't sound really interesting.
Your dad is crying.
I have
Is-
more embarrassing dad stories.
Is he watching tonight?
Don't we all?
No, no,
Do you like text him and tell him to watch his show?
no.
Wait, he's not watching?
I don't know.
What is wrong with you?
Why did you
The
have this?
Notebook?
The Notebook.
Chris just hates all things
I love that movie,
romantic.
but-
Not true. Actually,
What's your favorite romance movie?
French Kiss.
I
That's
don't
a
even
good
know.
one.
Meg Ryan and Kevin
I
Kline.
thought
Fine.
that would have been funny if you were like, can't hardly wait.
IQ is IQ actually with Tim Robbins and Meg Ryan with Albert Einstein with Walter Matthau in one of his last roles
never saw
playing
that.
Einstein. That's another good one.
My favorite.
If I'm looking
is,
straight, I mean, there's no real straight. Don't really do straight up romances anymore.
gonna
If
say,
you
Nah,
what
really,
counts?
want
no.
to talk about a good little melodramatic romance, it would be Atonement. That's a great
I
movie.
still haven't seen that movie.
Oh, so good. It's so good. You need to
Okay.
see
Why are you talking to my
Okay.
fiance like she's a dog?
I just watched Deadpool.
He's-
so
Like-
it's-
like she's supposed to get excited when you make that voice.
Misty, what is the Atonement? You want the Atonement? You want the Atonement? Let's go for walkies. Yeah, you do. Let's go for walkies.
For sponsorship. So 4 out of 5 beards.
I will 4.5 beards out of 5 because
4.5
Bear
out
in
of 5
mind,
beards.
it's an origin film.
Okay.
So there's going to be backstory, this is that, but it's also mysticism. It's not missiles and armor and gods. It's magic and mysticism. And not only that, but the climax, this is the one thing other reviewers that I agree with them. It's not your typical blow it up, bash it out. It's I'm going to outsmart you and I'm going to use my magic to do so.
So
Right, it was like a
espionage
puzzler.
with
There were
magic.
were puzzles to solve.
It was a chess match. He beat him in a chess. He
This
beat
is sounding-
Dormammu in a chess match.
This is sounding more like Harry Potter. The more of these two
You
nerds
know what?
talk.
It
The
was
Sorcerer
See it.
Supreme does not approve.
It
sir.
was Inception with mandalas. That was basically.
I hated
Okay,
Inception.
Okay, I loved
Really?
Inception.
I hated
If
Inception.
you liked
Pretty
Inception, I
popular.
mean, you'll at least like the
Yeah,
visuals.
It's
of this.
already won one award for visual effects. It's been nominated for best
Really?
original score. I can't remember in what group that nominated for, but it's already getting nominated for. It's already won one for visual effects. You know, it's going to get nominated in the Oscars. I mean, if anything, just see it for the visual spectacle. And I accidentally saw it in 3D. Accidentally, because it was the only one that was showing.
I love the fact that you make it sound like you sat there for 45 minutes until you got a pair of 3D glasses and they came and gave it to you.
No, I.
This is my mistake.
Like, well, no, I walked in the Cinemark and they made me pick my seat, and this is a nice little sociological study. And so they have the screen facing you, like, pick your seat. I'm like, excuse me, I just want to sit wherever I want to sit. Like, pick your seat. You have to pick a seat. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, I hate it when they do
I go in
that.
there and there's
Yeah,
literally
they do that
5
now.
green seats that people have already selected. And being the pack animal that I am, I look at it and go, okay, F3, which is right next to two,
like you're
the,
playing
two of the other
Battleship.
5 people in there. I decide to sit right next to them in this empty theater. And luckily, by the time I go in, the whole theater is full, so it's not that awkward. But for some reason, I'm looking at this whole empty theater. I'm like, I want to sit next to them.
It's like the urinal situation in the bathroom, where like there's 6 urinals on the wall. You go to the one right next to the guy.
Yeah. Well, you see, normally...
Y'all
that's-
do that? I don't do that. I
Weird.
go
I
in,
mean,
like if
just-
someone's at a urinal, I go to the stall because I don't.
You see,
don't
I
like
go
bathrooms.
to the furthest one away because if my love life was named after a Marvel movie, it would be called Ant-Man. Infinitely shrinking.
I'd call it Cloak and Dagger.
Dagger.
Oh,
Moving on.
we are not getting sponsored after that one.
PG-13.
It's PG.
Oh, sorry.
PG.
Nerd Alert had great promise, but then ratings fell off after their 3rd episode.
Nerd alert. XXX.
With these subtle hints of rape
This is not a parody.
and the 34 F-bombs coming from the host, Dan
Well, say,
Danson.
how's that not come from me though? I'm surprised I haven't dropped one yet.
Dude,
Me too.
I practice.
But anyway, okay.
I just like when Ralphie tortures me, I try not to cuss at him. I try to be understanding.
Then you hide his cookies under cups.
Then I hide his cookies under cups and he can't get to them. So that concludes Malone at the Movies. You heard it here. 4.5 beards out of 5. Go see Doctor Strange under his advisement. I'm going to go see it. Probably not, though.
You go see it.
Star Wars Rogue One's coming out, guys.
Well, speaking of which,
You can
that's
see
the,
more
that's,
than one movie.
that's the other tie-in though, because
No.
Mads Mikkelsen though is
See,
in Rogue One.
Hold
not
on.
a reason.
Stu is under the assumption that I like going to the movies. First of all, there's other people. Oh my God, I can't stand that. 2, noise, whether it's cell phone or children. I hate that. And prices. That thing Cinemark does where you have to pick your seat right
well,
there.
because they got the reclining seats now. I walked
don't
in and it's like
care.
I'm in a spaceship, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this? Like,
Oh, that's cool.
Just
I
before you
haven't-
go to the movies, don't shower for a week. You won't have to worry about the people around you.
But they still make noise.
I
and
will-
they're just
wait, when I went and saw the Return of the King, the last Lord of the Rings one, I was with one of my exes up in New York, and we're sitting there, and it's crammed. It's opening night. We're sitting there, and she's just like leaning closer and closer to me with this disgusted look on her face, and I'm like looking at her. I'm like, you okay? She's like. I'm like, what? And she like finally, like when the movie ended, after we stood up 5 times, every time it went to black.
That's so
we
true.
finally, she gets up and she's like mad. She's almost running over people to get out of this theater. And I'm like, what's going? No, what? And she goes, the guy was farting the entirety of the film.
She was sitting next to me.
And that's a 3-hour. We think about almost a 3-hour movie
my
of
God.
some big farting guy sitting next to her. And she's just she had the grace to not say anything the entire time.
See,
Wow.
that's her fault. We went and saw Cloverfield Lane, and some dude. This is like at 8:30 too. This wasn't even late, and some dude is just snoring.
Oh gosh.
And I finally just went, "Hey,
Oi!
oi!"
It took everything I had not to yell at him myself. Oh,
I
God.
almost put popcorn in his throat, so he
Steve,
choked to death.
have you ever noticed when you get really angry and you shout, you tend to lisp a little bit?
No.
Yeah, oh my God, I so noticed
No.
that. I'm
Have you ever
so
noticed,
glad
like,
someone else
hey,
said that.
Will you stop? Like you'll
No.
do it.
Stop
you'll
it.
Do it slightly.
Would you
And it's
stop
just,
it?
I can see you stand in a movie theater and like, will you stop snoring?
Do I slightly lisp
Slightly.
like
It's
I
it's
can't-
almost imperceptible, but
in-
I've known you
all
for
the
years.
time?
See,
like
I
when
can't-
I talk?
When you get really, when you raise your tone,
Yeah.
and then you like when you're like, I don't understand what's going on. Like it'll slip out.
See, I
Oh,
can't.
that's weird.
I can't tell her stuff like this because then.
said you
no, I
mentioned
It's
can't.
the Texas accent. Like, I get angry and then, like, I'm just
Yeah.
full-blown Texan. Like, spurs on the boots. I'm about to slash your
Now I
face.
hear it when
There
you
was
say it. When
milk
you
in my
get
boot.
Texan,
Yeah.
I get
Makes me
weird
uncomfortable.
feeling over here.
Okay.
Just the whole
is
episode.
it a
Is it
tingly
the
The
feeling?
same
whole
weird
epi-
feeling?
The whole episode, I've just kind of been like, God, that voice. But then when you hit the Texas, I was like, ooh, officer.
Was I doing something wrong?
Was I doing something wrong?
You're doing everything right.
Sir, will you please put your shirt back on?
So, on that note, so Stu Hollowell, he's a stand-up comic here in DFW and in the Denton area. Can we include the Denton area?
Yes,
in DFW?
please.
Let's
Denton
include
We
the.
work hard in
no one
includes
includes the Denton area.
We try to get y'all to include us.
We're little D. We're still still
Little.
Well, that's
You gotta
the-
go with a
that's-
different
that's-
name.
That's
A different nickname,
that's the
Little
other
D.
title for my life.
Yeah.
There you go, Little D.
let's
Little Dallas
I'm
is
never
what that
moving.
stands for.
let's call it the good size D.
The good
God,
size.
we're never getting
how about
sponsors.
the
Hey,
growing
it's
D?
the average size D, okay?
With the growing D.
The
It's a we're not sure.
the college town with a lot of
Potential.
potential. I totally understand if nobody wants to sponsor us now. But anyway, he also now. I've been doing stand up for a decade, which is way too long. But I've been doing it for a decade, and you meet a lot of young comics, and they're even when I started, my aspirations were always like me, and the heck with everybody else. And you get older, and you're just like, this is stupid. This is so dumb. But, like, I'm never gonna make it. Not like realistically, the only way I could really make it, or any comic could make it, is if they go to L.A. If you really want to carry on that ambition or that aspiration of me, that's very selfish. And a lot of young comics have it. Then you get older and you realize it's not all about me. What I like about Stu is Stu hasn't been doing comedy for very long, but he's using stand-up comedy not for himself but for others, specifically children. And what Stu does, if you can just check that out, that is LOL, Language of Laughter. That is their logo. Go like them on Facebook. Language of Laughter. You can just type that into Facebook and find it, correct?
Absolutely.
Right on. He does these comedy shows for a cause, duh. But like the proceeds go to help me with this.
Yeah,
Stu.
they go to underprivileged.
There's only
kids.
so much I can say.
Basically, yeah, I've been doing comedy for about 3 years. I've been teaching for 4 or 5, and like what I noticed was that both comics and teachers, they inhabit this community. They both love what they do and the people they're around. So I just figured I would combine them. So yeah, all of our comedy show proceeds go to buying books for kids, for underprivileged kids, and it's usually bilingual students. We buy books in both English and Spanish so they can read them.
Well,
read
with
'em in
Trump,
English.
with Trump as president, you'll be saving in that department. I'm
yeah.
kidding. It's a joke.
I think it's politics aside, it's going to make our job harder, but more necessary, and I think
Definitely.
It's important. It'll continue to be more important.
And not only do you have comedy shows, but you also have like read-alongs where comics can come read to kids. And this is the reason I had you on, so I could have a reason to show this picture.
Is that what that was for?
That's
Yeah,
Mr.
this is
Dan
what this was
Danzy.
for. This is at Barnes & Noble. And just like my regular stand-up act, the audience is immediately turned away from what's going on in front of them.
They're
But
incoherent and
No,
not paying
actually,
attention
that was a really fun thing to do. A very unique experience, and
you rocked it, man. You brought see. That's what I love is that seasoned comics come to the stage ready to perform, and they do that with kids.
oh, he
They
called
do-
me seasoned,
Wait, you're not implying he's a professional.
right?
Well,
I can be when the time is right. I think when it's children,
Professional, yeah.
children, you have to be professional. This show and not saying stuff, not at all. But no, I really enjoyed performing for the kids. They were just so.
yeah. I mean, comics make the best storytellers. They're already doing that.
You think it's gonna be a hard audience, and then like you get up there and you're like, I could just say duty and have them in
Right.
hysterics.
Right. This is the one time all the poop jokes you wrote like totally valid here.
Instead of the improv, where I lose at funniest comic
Oh,
text.
God. There's only one person
No.
that lost that night, sir.
It was me.
It was comedy.
It was during my 6 minutes.
Oh.
But so what? Any future LOL events coming up?
We've got a story time at Barnes & Noble for Christmas. We're doing their Polar Express story time. It's going to be fun. We're going to have like little bells hanging around
If the
store.
Jews had anything worth reading around this time, I would come. But I don't think anybody wants to hear about the history of the dreidel. I don't think any kid. That's boring.
Tell the story of the golem.
No, but we finished with our 2016 season. So like we had 6
Oh,
shows.
so you do it by seasons?
Yeah, we our 2016 season we had 6 comedy shows. We raised over $3,000, donated to 6 different schools, and we're planning.
Nice.
We're planning 2017. We're gonna have our 501c3, which is really hard. It's just basically becoming a national charity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're checking the boxes.
And
man.
LOL is going to be involved in the Denton Comedy Festival this year. You're
Yes,
also
sir.
a co-organizer with me.
Yes, sir.
And boy, we had a trip today. That was
yes.
we're not going to bring it up, but woo! It was one of those where you just look at the phone and go, "Whoa!"
And
All
then you
right,
put it back away.
and you just put it away and concentrate on something else. But LOL is absolutely wonderful, and I had more to it. Oh, yeah, you are also a teacher, right?
I am.
All right, I wanted to ask you some teacher questions.
Sure.
Are you scared that any of your students are watching?
Right now?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know how popular your show is. I don't know.
It's not written. Not,
okay.
not at all.
I know you don't have any sponsors, so I'm not exactly worried.
I can't believe we don't either. I can't. It's
No, but kids.
unfathomable.
The first week I started teaching these kids this year, they found me. They found me online, and all these pictures.
You
of
didn't
me-
tell them you were a comic.
No,
did you?
no, not at all. But they Google every teacher. This is this generation. So
Oh.
and
God, that stinks.
That's terrifying.
I didn't even care. I didn't care about my teachers that much.
I don't think they do either. They're just looking for dirt. That's
They're just
exactly
looking
it.
for dirt.
I'm sorry, Ms. Dubois.
And
Sixth
actually, what tipped them all off is that I had them send their assignments to me via email,
Yeah.
and my email profile picture is
Oh,
me
it's-
doing stand up.
Oh, great.
And so they're like, Mr. Hollowell, what is this? And I was like,
Yeah.
kids, wait, don't tell anybody, please, about my amateur karaoke career. Because
It's like in Parks and Rec when they find out Ron Swanson plays jazz.
You just ruined it.
Did I? Oh, whoops.
I've only gotten to season 2.
Oops. Well,
I
that's
hate
the
you.
big spin.
that's nerd alert for you.
Yeah.
That's how we are. So I just wanted to get okay. So what? I've asked you this before, but for our viewing audience, all
Sure.
two of them. What is your age range? What do you teach? What subject and what grade?
Oh, well, I've taught second grade to fourth grade, but now I'm teaching high schoolers, so
God.
juniors.
Good
Yeah.
Wow.
And how old are you?
I'm 25.
Oh my God. Okay. Has
I
anybody?
I was asked to prom.
I was gonna ask. Has
Yeah.
anybody asked you? Now, how do you handle a situation like that?
You handle it by running away, which is what I did.
You just ran.
I
away.
didn't even look at who it was. It was in the hallway, and I just darted across.
Okay,
the
so nobody
my
like she
God.
didn't walk up to you. She just yelled it out.
school. Pretty much, yeah.
What?
That's
Okay.
that's
Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna start singing "Don't Stand So Close to Me."
Don't stand so.
He's blushing right now too.
It's
I am.
Blushing, yeah.
Well, if anybody over 18 out there wants to ask me to prom, I still don't have a date. No, but the only way you can deal with weird student
I don't-
situations like, Dan, you want to go to prom with me?
yeah.
All right.
Hey, we can team this, if you want.
No,
Just a
I
bunch
called
of
it
Wait,
first,
what?
Chris.
Bachelors going to prom.
I called it first, Chris.
Who's gonna wear the
Scouting
Um,
the territory.
So are you in your high school? Are you like the hottie of the teacher group? Like, do other teachers get pissed off?
How do you ask them when they're you
I
the
don't
body
know.
of the faculty?
I mean,
Do the other kids? Do the girls kind of like, oh, Mr. Hollowell?
I walked into the school one time, and one girl I don't even have as a student shouted, "Hey, Hottie McGee."
What?
Yeah.
Didn't even
So,
know you were a
like,
teacher.
Maybe. Another time, I walked by, and a girl just said, "Hey, are you a teacher?" I said, "Yes." She says,
Okay.
Wow.
She said something I couldn't, but yes, disappointment. I'm
I'm
not.
Did you look like this in high school? Like, did you get that in high school when you did go to school?
My nickname in high school was Pippin
Oh.
because I looked
Hey,
a lot like Pippin.
I was in Pippin. Oh no, Pippin from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I was in Pippin the musical.
Okay.
That's probably why girls didn't talk to me.
Well, I
Um,
was Pippin Lord of the Rings, so.
So I don't know. That's just gotta be really weird for you. Like, just
It's getting less weird.
okay. Best kind of student.
The ones that turn in their homework.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no one that like the one that takes
No,
the
no.
initiative. There's no. Just do your work, kids. Just do it.
Do it the state
Make my
tells you
job
to do.
easier. No. Okay, honestly, I have a question.
You can grade it yourselves. I'd let you.
Now, my favorite students are the ones who I see in the comics all around me. I can see that they're going to go on and do stuff like this, and they're going to be on stage, and they're the ones that the teachers sort of reject immediately. They put them in the back of the room, and they get onto them at a drop of a hat. But those are the kids who are usually the smartest.
That was me.
And they usually make terrible grades. You just have to
That was me.
figure out a different way to get them motivated and energized and those are the kids I like latching on to. And
Worst kind of student. Is there one like
ones
right
who
now?
shout Hottie McGee in the hallway.
No, don't give me that. You know you secretly like that because it's like it's affirmation of how you look. Everybody likes that. I'll take compliments from a dog. I don't care. But like, just when you're in the classroom, I imagine the kid who's just like going to sleep and not even caring. Like
I
those
threaten them
kids.
with. I have a bottle of bathroom like Clorox cleaner,
What?
and I threaten them with that whenever if they fall asleep. I'll just
Nice.
Usually
Because of the smell? You don't like spray it in their eyes
Wait,
or anything.
As I'm about to, usually the kids' laughter wakes them up and they freak out. So I haven't had to
Okay.
do it yet, but the threat
Any
is always
student that's
there.
wanted to fight you.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Oh, we got to hear this.
I
And then we
think
get to the top 10.
There's
Then we
no
get
in
to-
high school. There's no reason for fighting. They just want to fight each other.
Yeah, I know. That's why that makes those YouTube videos so good.
Right. World Star Hip Hop. That's
I
where I
love
was
'em.
born. But no, it's just some kid bumped me in the hallway and he was just, "You wanna fight, bro? You wanna fight?"
Really?
It's like,
I love like 80% of the time they don't know you're a teacher, and that's what.
the staff doesn't even know that I'm a teacher, so it's everybody.
Oh, do you have an embarrassing story about that? Like,
yeah,
you
actually.
walk into the faculty lounge and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Well, there was a pep rally going on, and I was, teachers don't have to go to the pep rally, but I wanted to hang back and like look in.
School spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to participate from afar. And then school security runs up and is like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be out here." And I just turned around and walked back to my
The
classroom.
last time he ever showed spirit for the
Exactly.
fighting warriors or whatever it is.
Like, all right, calm down, Farva.
Right. I have not been to a pep rally since. So.
Well, I hope you're having fun here. I hope this is like high school from when you remember it, where we're just all laughing, joking around, no one's getting in trouble.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
I'm sorry, drugs haven't been passed around, but we're trying to get sponsors. Now,
Speaking of sponsors, Pfizer is a great company.
Pfizer. We've now been sponsored by Trump University.
Oh, not anymore. He's settled on that, apparently.
Did he? What happened?
25 million.
25 million.
25 million.
I was hoping he would go to court for that.
Well, but that's the thing is that, and
We have time to talk about Trump a
Well,
little
really,
bit.
really quickly, yeah. So, because everyone was asking, like, well, he's got all these lawsuits, and that's not the only one he's dealing with. That I guarantee you that other people in the Republican Party went, listen, you're president now.
Yo.
Listen, I know, just need to
Hey.
be, you're president now. Well, I'm not going to, just close it out.
Stop.
You-
Put
you
your phone
just-
down.
just
Stop
pay it.
tweeting. Stop tweeting.
It's kind of like that line from The Social Network, in the long run, it's just a speeding ticket.
Right.
Just pay it off. So he's 25 million. It's all settled.
That was it?
Sell
that was
your
it?
left shoe and that'll cover it.
But the Democrats
Basically.
made you think that was just like this multi-billion-dollar scandal
Well,
thing.
he's got other things that he's trust me, that's not the only thing that's on his docket.
Oh, but
right
guess what? He can pardon himself now.
now.
Whoa.
Actually, no. The biggest thing they're talking about right now is and my friend Vincent Latore. Hi, Vinny.
Didn't I beat him in our fantasy
You
football
did.
league?
He's doing horrible this year. But he's a diehard. He born and raised Long Islander, diehard Trump fan. And I brought it up the day after the election that there's a conflict of interest with him and his businesses. And he's like, "That's not true, bro." And I'm like, first of all, you can't be a president and run businesses that deal with property, real estate, basically, because you're in the position where you can just change the laws in your benefit, and that's a conflict of interest. And they're saying, "Oh, well, he can just give it to his kids." It's like he can't just give it to his kids because even his lawyers, the best lawyers in the United States, are going, "Well, crap, how do we do this?"
Yeah, didn't his kids apply to get top secret status?
Well, the thing is, right now, is like
jeez.
they're basically saying that there has to be some of the people, and some of the people on the Democratic side are saying, just make him sell everything, give him the profits, and let him, because every president comes in with a fair amount of money. Most of them have money when they're rolling in, almost all of them basically, and they have them in bonds or this, that, and other things that are well within the range of not being in the conflict of interest. But when you're actually running multiple businesses in multiple countries, and you can't say there's no conflict of interest, and like he can't just give it to his kids because you're just going to say, "Hey son, hi dad, how are the kids?"
Wink.
It's like wink,
Yeah.
slide the note underneath the.
Oh, well.
I just hope that we just recreate the plot of Arrested Development.
Right.
Through
There's always
this
money in the
process.
banana stand.
Yeah.
I just he He overcame the odds. He became president. Let him do what he wants.
But I told you about that picture.
Who wants
though,
to
right?
talk about Trump right now, though? I don't.
Oh,
Not
here we
on
go.
this show.
Misty.
Not on this
She had a
show.
little bit of a lisp. Did you notice that lisp?
She's playing her trump card.
Ah.
I don't want to talk about Trump
See,
right now.
Okay.
She doesn't want to talk about Trump
I mean,
because
what-
it's.
who is watching that?
I'll leave this-
that-
I'll leave this-
well,
there's-
That's
there-
not. It's not nerd.
The last picture. I'll leave this image. There was a picture that was online a few weeks, about a week ago now, and it was
I can look for
It was a picture of the last 8 presidents, represented by snack food,
Oh, never mind.
and
I'm not gonna look for that.
it's 6 saltine crackers, an Oreo, and a Cheeto,
Oh my god.
I see it.
and it's like, and there was no title on it. It's like the last 8 presidents. And you're like, saltine cracker, saltine. Cracker.
We gotta enjoy having show.
Oh.
We gotta enjoy having a show while we can before shows of any kind are boycotted by our new president because he did ask for SNL to be canceled.
He is trying to open up the libel laws,
Oh,
which don't
jeez.
exist.
But it's now time for my favorite segment of the evening, and I know it's Misty's favorite segment, and she's been so busy this week that her and Chris are going to tag team this figuratively.
team, back
better,
again.
better figuratively tag team this. Anyway,
Well, you are in the middle right now. You know that, right?
oh boy,
This is going to be a London town.
ladies and gentlemen, it's Misty's Top 10. Oh, Mr. Top 10, where you been, Mr. Top 10? Ow, ow, bow.
Beautiful.
All right, Misty. What is your top 10 this week?
Top 10 this week is comedy movies.
All right.
Comedy movies.
Now, you did this because we had a stand-up comic as our guest this
Yes,
week, right? Yeah.
this
So
is
this is
true.
for
This
you,
is
Stu.
true.
Well, thank you, man.
If you don't agree with it, you can leave.
I'm going to take credit for the top 10 today, even though Chris was the one who put in the work. Just JK.
I
Oh,
will
don't-
fight you.
Don't do that. Don't end in don't
What?
don't do acronyms. Don't
I
do
don't care.
don't do internet acronyms.
Wait, we've only
on the
done
show.
LOL tonight.
It's I mean, JK is something that people use all the time now. It's just seeped into the culture. At least I complete full
Here's
words
the thing,
when I
it's
send
in the
text
dictionary.
messages.
Here's the thing, Misty. I think John Kennedy when you say that, and I get triggered.
You get triggered. So
Back into
what,
the
what
left.
do you,
Back into the left.
you
Go
get
ahead, I'm sorry.
triggered. Oh my god.
I thought I would
So-
introduce some comedy.
That took me a second.
Did that really take you a
That
second?
really did. I was like, back into. Oh.
Back into the that's how he died.
So
All right, let's go with number. Is that any particular order, or I'm just gonna say number 10 and somebody shout something out. Number 10.
scary movie.
Scary movie.
Nice. Number 9.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
That's a good one. Number 8.
That's-
Three Amigos.
Hot dogs.
Three Amigos.
Amigos.
Three Amigos is wonderful.
John Landis.
John Landis, bro.
The great John Landis.
Isn't he dead now?
No, he's still
No,
he's still
Max
kicking.
Landis. Max Landis is his son.
Yeah, John
Who
Landis.
does the Death of Superman who did Chronicle.
Yeah.
Chronicle's a great movie.
But John's still directing. Too.
And
He's-
American Ultra.
Didn't he also do Thriller music
he did the
video by
Thriller-
Michael
He
Jackson?
did American
did?
Girl from London. He did Animal House. I mean,
Animal House. See that should be on the list.
Well, it's I try not
He
to.
was-
Did
repeat-
Cindy Crawford.
I honestly try not to repeat too many directors on my list.
Yeah.
I did. I was like, oh, I can't do Frank Oz 5 times. Who directed Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, by the way?
Gotcha.
Voice of Fozzie the Bear. And
Really?
Miss Piggy.
Who is that?
Today
Frank
I
Oz.
learned.
Frank Oz. Ah.
Yeah, he always talks like, that's his actual voice is what Fozzie the Bear sounds like. That's
I-
he's not doing a voice when
Are
he
you
does Fozzie the Bear.
serious?
Oh yeah,
That's
he talks.
crazy.
He's up
I
here.
didn't
he's,
know that.
He's Frank Oz, and that's
I did
how he talks.
not know that.
Yeah, and Sam the Eagle.
Any racial slurs from that voice probably sounds so cute. Like
well,
you
Sam,
can't even hate
Sam
it.
the Eagle. If you know your Muppets,
Please don't.
No,
say
no, no.
any
But
racial
he
slurs.
is. No, he's not. But he's definitely the one that you always suspect goes on a racial tirade behind the scenes of the Muppet Show.
I always thought that the drummer Muppet,
Animal?
was a race. Yeah, I always thought Animal could say some racist stuff.
If you
Why are
actually
we
could-
talking about this? What number are
I
we
have-
on?
I have no idea.
I
We
think
just,
7.
Seven,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
All right, number 7.
Zombieland.
Zombieland. I don't know. My list is in a different numbering than yours, so I don't know which one you're
Zombieland.
going with.
You know
Zombieland,
what?
yeah.
What I'm doing right now is I have Chris's list and I'm just assigning a number to
Yeah,
one.
it's like it's no particular one. Like I'm sitting there going, and she's looking at me, and I'm like,
I mean,
I
you
like
know,
Zombieland. Zombieland,
I
it's
haven't seen
hilarious, and it also predicted the Twinkie crisis of 2015.
no,
so-
but I was upset with that movie because snowballs are legit, and they bash snowballs.
Snowballs are pretty good.
if you had to choose one, though,
Snowballs.
but watching Chris eating a snowball is weird because he's like this big guy and it's like this tiny
It's
little
pink.
thing.
So what?
It's I don't
pink
know.
coconut on marshmallow
I-
and chocolatey goodness.
I want one
Cream.
now.
I like the little Hostess
We're going to
cupcakes.
Walmart
Anyway,
after this and we're getting
Anyway.
some snowballs.
Damn,
Number 6.
damn right. I can say damn.
You can.
Damn.
But you can't mention the snowballs that they're referring to in Clerks. High five.
Hi.
High five. Bam. See how we get around that? Sponsor us. All right.
Try not to. On your way to the parking lot.
Right. Get back here. Number 6.
Okay, I will take number 6. A Fish Called Wanda.
Okay.
Yes.
Y'all
I'm
coulda-
sorry. No, written by John Cleese. Also co-directed, uncredited, co-directed by John Cleese.
John Cleese came out and said that Monty Python and the Holy Grail is boring, by the way.
See, it's
He
more
doesn't
high-
understand why people like it so
Well,
much.
but none of them do because when you think about all the one movie they were more invested in was The Life of Brian.
Yeah. And that was I didn't like that
No,
one
it was
as
funny.
much.
It was just they caught more flack for Life of Brian than they ever did for Holy Grail.
Yeah.
The Holy Grail for complete the absurdity of that film. Just I mean, and there's so many memorable moments, so many more in that film than from Meaning of Life or from The Life of Brian. I mean, outside of a bunch of people crucified singing always look on the bright side of life and following a shoe or gourd rather than it's and people with big noses.
I think it's more highbrow comedy. You know what I mean? In my opinion.
Not Holy Grail.
In
Look!
like some
I
of it.
warned you.
moments.
I
There
got
are
better.
moments.
Some of it's more intelligent comedy, at least compared to what I watch, like friggin' old school.
or Seth
and-
Rogen movies.
Well, you would like if you would like
Anchorman.
you would like Faulty Towers.
Faulty Towers is
Faulty Towers is
tremendous.
Not
Only
seen it
it was only one
on
season,
my list.
and it didn't get canceled. John Cleese just went, all right, I'm done here. And it's probably the funniest sitcom, British or American.
Oh yeah.
It's totally in the top 5. But speaking of top 5, wait,
Oh yeah. So wait. Yeah,
we
so,
need a number 5.
So we
Yeah.
did Fish Called Wanda. Clue.
Clue
Clue.
is wonderful. One of my favorites with Tim Curry as
Madeline
the butler.
Kahn.
Madeline Kahn.
I mean,
it's
the ensemble was fantastic.
Fred Willard. Fred Willard? No, not Fred Willard.
I hope not.
No, he played Professor Plum.
Oh,
Or
Christopher
Colonel-
Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd, and then Colonel
Really?
Mustard.
He's a character actor.
No, he was on Roseanne. He was on Roseanne with Fred
Wasn't
Willard.
George Clooney?
No,
Oh,
What are you
Leon,
talking
the
about?
guy who
Okay.
plays Leon. The guy who plays
the
Leon.
guy who plays Leon in Roseanne. That's in a gay relationship
I don't know
with Fred
his
Willard.
name.
I'm lost on this one.
I don't know his name. You
Show's over. We're not nerds.
It was over 2 weeks ago, sir.
What?
It really was.
whatever.
But great ensemble cast, and you make a movie that has such a cult following based on a board game.
Yep.
Like that's just
See, they tried to do Battleship with
no,
Rihanna.
they- we don't
What?
talk about Battleship.
They did. You didn't see that?
No.
Oh my God, it was
but,
terrible.
But that was the thing. That was at no way, shape, or form faithful at all to the board game. But somehow Clue.
Well, no,
They
Rihanna
actually-
Rihanna is in the Battleship board game.
I didn't know the board game came first. I had no idea.
What Clue?
What, Clue?
Clue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
did
didn't
you
know
actually
Clue before
fun
the
little
movie. I
note
never-
about Clue? This is one of the first times that they really started messing with people. They if you buy the DVD, you play it. It gives you two options:
Alternate
play,
endings
Play it with
and
with a random ending, so you don't know who did it until the ending plays. Or you can watch all three of them.
Yeah.
Now, when they released it in the theaters,
You-
they didn't know what ending
You
were
didn't
getting
tell.
per
they didn't
theater.
tell anybody.
So people would come out. Oh, it was Colonel Mustard. No,
Dude.
it wasn't. It was Mrs.
No
Peacock.
way.
And, like no one knew.
Yeah, no, that was
like-
it was
So
genius.
It's
Yeah.
like murder mystery dinner theater.
Yeah.
I did one of those shows. I used to be a theater major. And I was like I was like
It makes sense now that you're with Pippin.
transgender person. I ended up
The
being
musical
my
Pippin.
ending. Like I was a comedian my character. I was a
Oh
comedian.
my God,
And
foreshadowing.
I was like this tough talking
This is too
comedian.
meta.
This is destiny,
And my
right here.
ending,
Inception.
my ending was so cool. I got my ending one time because the audience picked the ending, right?
Aw.
And I got my ending one time, and it turned out I was a transgender person. I was really a guy who'd gotten a sex change, so
See,
to a girl.
That explains a lot.
That should have been the
In-
ending to Clue.
Yeah,
Well, you could have been Mrs. Peacock.
that was actually the ending to Battleship.
I would have watched it if I'd known that.
You,
Number 4.
What are we? Zach and Mary make a porno.
I liked. I liked the movie, but I thought it was an Apatow movie.
No, but that's
Kevin
that's
Smith.
That's
Kevin
why,
Smith
that's why,
trying to be an.
That's why
Avatar.
Kevin Smith hates it. He's like,
Yeah.
I ruined. He felt like he ruined Seth Rogen's
Rogen.
career. He basically got all of Apatow's people and everything. But when you actually are able to take Tracy Lords and make her funny,
She was a.
her name is Bubbles.
She was a.
Her name's
ditz.
Tracy Lords.
She was a ditz. She was in Roseanne too.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
But no, but that's the thing. It's the whole.
terrible.
It was funny, and it was like Apatow, or whatever it is. It's still written by Kevin Smith and directed by Kevin Smith. So it's a Kevin Smith movie. It's his dialogue. It's his story. Yeah, it's Apatow-esque, but if you watch that next to Knocked Up, there's no comparison. And it was just that was also for Kevin Smith at the point in his career where he was just ready to give up, anyways.
And Bruce Willis had already like
broke him at
lowballed
that-
him
yeah, he broke
and
him at that
burned a lot of his bridges because they did Cop Out, and Bruce Willis apparently came out and said that Kevin Smith was too busy smoking pot to make a good movie or something. And anyway,
Anyways.
Bruce Willis turned out to be a joke. Is somebody eating? Yeah, you're eating Hall's. He's eating cough drops.
Stop making fun of me.
All right, number 3.
Fire away, Misty. You're trying to see which ones we've already done, right?
Yeah. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that. Top 3. Number 2.
Shaun of the Dead.
I'm
wearing
I
my-
liked Hot Fuzz
I'm
better.
wearing my Cornetto trilogy shirt.
know-
by the
Hot
way.
Fuzz is better.
Hey, blah, 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 blah.
Have you?
I'm
used-
not Janine.
I think Hot Fuzz was a good genre parody. I don't know if it was like just
And
hands
what's
down
Shaun of the
best.
Dead?
Shaun of
Shaun of the Dead's not a
Okay,
genre parody.
all right,
Actually-
you were right.
Don't
I
make me
can
kick
see.
you out of the studio.
I'm just kidding.
Actually, as the authority on these films in this room.
How are you the authority?
Well, let me tell you.
You're
okay,
eating cough drops.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to lean really into the microphone and talk like I'm on NPR.
You do the
Nice.
do the movie reviews.
So Shaun of the Dead was co-written by Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright. So was Hot Fuzz, and then you got to World's End, which was
World's
written
End
by-
was
was written by Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, still directed by Edgar Wright. Now all of these came about from a TV show called Spaced,
Yes.
which was
Great show.
which was Nick Frost, Simon Pegg, and directed by Edgar Wright.
I was
So,
going to say Frank Oz.
on-
Now I'm
in
confused.
the third episode, Simon Pegg's character has been up all night on cheap speed playing Resident Evil 2. And he starts
Sounds like me at 14.
and he starts hallucinating.
Yeah.
So every time he turns around, there's zombies, and that was the origin for Shaun of the Dead.
Gotcha.
So when you look at it, it wasn't as much a
It's-
parody of
it's-
zombie films. It was an homage.
Homage
It
to
was-
space.
Yeah. Now
Okay.
Hot Fuzz was a straight up, like they actually in the
was
intro.
epic.
Well, in the intro to Hot Fuzz, when they're doing the I can't remember who made it, but they have all the police sirens in the beginning. They literally went out and found every type of police siren and ambulance siren they can have and play them all at the same time. And then they literally based everything, like there's so many references to Lethal Weapon, Bad
Yep.
Boys, everything. That
Grosse Point Blank.
Shaun of the Dead, that you get that too with, we're coming to get you, Barbara. Like, they have all those references, but it's so much more its own movie than Hot Fuzz is, because Hot Fuzz adheres to those things you have to adhere to within the cop buddy movie, whereas Shaun of the Dead, you don't often see the main character shooting his mom in the face in a comedy.
And I like the soundtrack to Hot Fuzz.
Oh no, it's good too.
Sergeant Rock is going to help me when
As
when he
far
first
as-
enters the bar scene.
As
It's great.
far as just like a comedy movie goes, I like Hot Fuzz because the
it's-
writing's always good because it's Simon Pegg.
I'm not
But
Janine.
just the parts with no
not
dialogue
Janine.
were funny too. Like the parts of Hot Fuzz that I laughed the most were where he was just carrying his potted plant around. Like that that takes
It's a
something
Japanese
special.
piece, Lily.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, actually, side note, right before we go on, you know who Janine is in Hot Fuzz?
Who?
Kate Blanchett.
Get out.
They talk about
They
the
covered her
commentary,
face the whole time.
but you look at her eyes, and then you hear her voice, and they even talk about we don't know how we got her to do this, and then you see she whips off the goggles, and you're like, yeah, no, that's Kate Blanchett. Like, it's just
I
she's
gotta
got that
start
one little
listening.
bit.
I gotta start listening to DVD commentaries.
That's all I ever do. I watch a movie and then
Dude.
I'll watch it again with the commentary.
Last night on the internet, I was listening to Ben Affleck's DVD commentary on Armageddon, where he's just
God.
trashing the whole movie
Oh,
the whole way.
seriously?
It is Ben Affleck at his funniest.
The problem is you do want to close your eyes when you're watching that movie.
Oh my god, yeah, that movie is terrible. All right, that'd be funny if number one was Armageddon.
No,
Number one, Misty, I'm gonna do solo cam on you. Number one.
I
Do
actually
you have the number one?
I switched it actually.
You switched
because
it.
of the peer pressure in the break room.
I don't remember what number
All right,
one is.
we put a knife up to his
the
throat.
original number one, and I know I'm going to catch flack for this, was The Martian.
Boo.
Now I've read the book and I've watched the movie, not in that order. Now I'm sorry,
What's the new
it's
number one?
Directed by Ridley Scott. and
What's the new
I
number
laughed
one, Chris?
I laughed so much watching The Martian, and I still do. Okay,
Heavens to Murgatroyd.
my new number one is Young Frankenstein.
There you go.
Frankenstein.
I mean, I don't know why we couldn't have Blazing Saddles, but it's
Well,
fine.
no, okay. Well, the reason, Blazing Saddles would have been great if Richard Pryor actually still did it. It's still a great film.
Richard Pryor
right.
helped write it.
He wrote it.
Yeah.
He co-wrote it.
Yeah, he co-wrote it.
Just like anything Eddie Murphy's in, he co-writes because he has to write. Sylvester Stallone co-writes everything he's in because they try to make the dialogue so that they can say it and sound like who they are. So he originally wrote it for that, and then he backed out. I can't remember what the reason is, and then that's how you got the cast.
Oh no, because he had to record. I can't say the name of that comedy album. Bicentennial.
Oh, there you go.
He had to record Bicentennial.
So, but yeah, no. But
I can't finish the rest of that on or off air.
we can do it off air by yourself in a dark room.
Nope. Someone's always watching. It's we live in that day and age.
Yes, we are. We're always watching.
So number one, Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein. Well, then there's no particular order because Young Frankenstein for a Mel Brooks movie was also originally not written by Mel Brooks. It was written by Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just had the idea, and then he brought it to Mel Brooks, and Mel Brooks went, "Oh my God, that's so great!" And then they improved it. That's where you get the ampersand in there with the Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks. And you think about it, compared to a Mel Brooks movie, it is very Mel Brooks, but it's not Blazing Saddles. It's not History of the World. It's not any number of his movies because he's very slapstick, very just everything beginning to end is just all over the place. Whereas this one is is a typical, first, second, third act.
Right.
This is that, but it's also roll in the hay. It's what knockers.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a lot.
Thank you, doctor. It's
There's a lot there. There's a lot there. I love it.
It's subtlety, and that's Gene Wilder too. And if you ever get a chance to read "Kiss Me Like a Stranger," his autobiography. Sadly, Gene Wilder's no longer with us, but read "Kiss Like a Stranger," "Kiss Me Like a Stranger," and that's you get a lot into Gene Wilder, who he is, and he talks about Young Frankenstein, and yeah,
And he talks a lot about like who he was as a person was somebody who was conflicted with like anger and just extreme kindness. And
yeah.
that's like personified to the extreme in Young Frankenstein.
oh yeah, well
That was his role.
well he talks about playing John Proctor in The Crucible, and I'm like, and because he was a stage actor, he was a serious actor. And here's another fun, Leslie Nielsen was a serious actor too, dramatic, sci-fi, 50s and stuff like that.
I always called him Ric Flair's twin brother.
And then his first real comedy was Airplane.
Yeah, and then after that,
And he was
Naked
just playing it serious. And then after that, then you got Naked Gun, you get all the rest of
That's
Police
it.
Squad. But everything else before that, you can find I think it's not a Twilight Zone, but a Outer Limits episode where he's like a spaceship captain, black and white, black haired.
Really?
And he's just sitting there, and you're like looking at him. Then he starts speaking, and you're like, "What the hell who are you? And then credits roll, and you're like,
Well, that concludes the top 10, guys. Misty's top 10 with Chris's help.
I was the cherry.
We still all right. We still have 10 minutes. We started off late today. It happens sometimes, but we got 10 minutes left. I noticed last week's episode we ended 11 minutes early.
What?
We were just ready to get out of here.
We're not ending
So-
early today.
No, and we got some beeping going
We
on.
got cameras and a microphone.
Cameras, microphone, beeping. Anyway, so I guess now we should talk about politics, or should we talk about football?
Well, okay. Well,
Hold on.
What's Donald Trump's favorite Marvel movie?
What?
What's Donald Trump's favorite Marvel movie?
Oh, if we had to name
It's
it.
not Black.
Are-
It's not
wait,
Black Panther.
Are we predicting what his 4 years are going to be in a Marvel
No,
title?
I'm not.
Oh, if you want to give that a shot,
Well, if he was going to
Suicide Squad.
if he was gonna call it, that's DC though. That's not Marvel.
Whatever.
But
God, way to
no,
step on my joke,
if,
Chris.
If it's the Republican Party, they're going to call it the Avengers
Let's look at these guys for a second.
or War Machine, which
So-
is not a movie yet. But I'm just saying, if I had to name a character, it would be called War Machine.
This is Mike Pence's selfie.
Oh no, this is hilarious.
I
So
found-
where's Waldo?
I found the black guy. He's in the back corner. You can see with the arrow mark. So you remember basketball? I mean, it says it right here, but this lady looks like the dude chick that Squeak hooked up with in basketball. This lady has no idea where she is right here. And do you just notice that other than Paul Ryan, there's no young person like at all in this crowd. It is just a bunch of
I'm sorry.
people.
I just hate the fact he's using a selfie stick.
I know. Yeah, that's what was distracting.
Is that
me,
what
too.
that was?
That's- look at his
I
dad.
thought he was
He's-
levitating it with his
No,
evil mind.
No, it's just it's like, oh come on.
But so this lady, it has to be senile, right? Because
And
How does
she's-
she
and
not
she
know
is
what's going
shaping
on?
Our government. she's like,
for more years.
no,
she's
I
like
I
involved in the government.
all these people are members of their local Rotary Club. Is what this is going on right here.
And the local bowling team. And
No, I do not. Other than Paul Ryan, every other hairpiece I see is like either white
or
or
wispy.
We
just
know-
balding,
is,
or
uh,
this lady.
Here's fun. Is Chris Christie anywhere, or they already kick him out of this?
No, I think Chris. I can't say that. I can't say that on air because we want to get sponsored. But here, Chris Christie had a bridge to shut down, so he had to leave the room. That's as clean as I could get it. I was gonna say he was doing something with Trump just to get a attorney general spot. But isn't that weird how that's our country now? We're like the internet troll is president.
Yeah, but is it unexpected?
No, it's
No.
not.
Well, I was gonna say, who saw Chappelle's Dave Chappelle's
Dave
Saturday Night
Chappelle.
Live,
I would show that if
monologue?
YouTube would.
Well, you can't show it for many reasons though.
No.
Sorry, Lauren.
Oh yeah, he did do that.
Well, he also drops a few other choice words. It's like he
Still,
can get away with it. I'm not allowed to get away with it.
you know, I just think, first of all, I think people need to stop protesting. There's no end game to that. It's not going to turn out. And Trump supporters need to stop attacking, you know,
Everybody.
minorities and transgenders and
Well,
stuff.
the problem is that it's not going to stop until they actually stop them.
I mean, it's not because of Trump winning, and it's not because of Hillary losing. It's because of Facebook. It is because of social
It's 'cause
media.
yeah, the hashtag fake
That-
news stuff.
That all this is happening. Exactly, the fake news. People read the fake news sites and think like people are coming to get their guns or something.
Did
you
you
know?
hear how that became such a big problem? It's because some Malaysian teenagers were trying to get ad revenue, and
Yeah.
they figured out they could make more
Dude,
money if they marketed their articles to Trump
People
supporters.
like before the Onion was really known. People thought internet Onion articles were real. Like your parents, for example. My dad knew what the Onion was.
First
but-
time I ever read anything from the Onion, I had never heard of it before in my life, and I'm like, really? And
Yeah.
like, huh?
Y'all need there's a page you can like on Facebook, and it's called Fake Science. And they release these like vintage, like 60s, 70s, 80s looking textbook photos with like the most obscenely incorrect science facts about dinosaurs, and like So yes, mankind. This is an actual picture of Jesus and Mary riding on a triceratops. You know, and it's like this is what they do it like every other day. It's at least they call it fake science.
We got a chat comment.
Hey.
This show rocks.
Yeah.
Sweet.
From Anonymous 5482.
Hey, I know.
It's you
Was
two.
that you on the other monitor?
No, this is not. We just totally
All
ignored
right.
that.
Show me your hands.
It's been up there since 9:02. It's been up there for an
God,
hour.
we are horrible
You
with our
are
fan
not
base.
paying attention.
This is.
Hey, I didn't even know we had viewers until now. All right.
I mean,
Until show number 2.
I like
Till show
to
number
to
2.
watch, but it's usually through Windows. After
There
everything,
went that-
we've,
there went that-
everything we've said tonight,
there went
that's
that-
the worst thing.
There went that yoga studio spot. That was good.
Let me tell you about yoga.
Do you have opinions about yoga?
I found someone's piercing up here. That's weird.
Nice.
Speaking of piercings,
We do
All
have,
right.
we do have like 4 minutes to kill.
Chill.
let's
With
talk about
that.
all the things we can pierce, shall we?
Nope.
I'm just gonna sit here with this face.
So
Football.
I guess we can close the show on football. Who's your
Nah.
who do you okay, panic, don't panic. Real quick.
Panic. Oh wow, panic! Don't panic this week.
Just off the top of your head. Panic.
Off the top of my head,
Yeah, go.
the Cowboys' playoff hopes. Panic. All right, Buffalo Bills.
Okay, Buffalo Bills defense.
Oh no, the defense is always going to be solid under Rex Ryan. The problem is that you still got Tyrod Taylor.
You say that, and I have the Bills in
It's not my fault you don't know how to draft.
I have the Bills defense, and they average 5 to 6
You're making me
points.
speak at a higher register right now.
See, I think the good thing to do would be to be like, hey, thanks, Stu. Thanks for coming on the show. Why are we gonna end the show with an argument
Thank you.
Because that's the world.
Because that's 2016.
Yeah.
Fine.
about football?
All
of
right,
all
all right,
things?
all right, all right.
Misty, tell me your favorite
Stu.
Twilight Zone episode.
What's up?
Stu,
Hey.
thank you for coming on our show.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
And what do you think about the Cowboys?
I'm not a fair weather fan. I've been with the Cowboys through thick and thin, and at this point, I'm just so happy they've got the magic going on right now.
See?
That I'm
It's
not
the magic. It's
Yeah.
that Dak magic.
Yeah, and the fact that Tony came out, what was it, 2 days ago, and it was just
Stepped aside.
proven that
By the
the
way,
Cowboys is just we're just classy people.
This episode is dedicated to Tony Romo, man of high class and taste and
Rest in
caliber.
peace, career of Tony Romo.
Rest in peace, career Tony Romo. For Nerd Alert, I'm Dan Danzy to my left,
Misty Fields.
and snoring into the microphone, reviewing movies.
Thank you.
What's your names, dude?
My name's Chris Malone.
Chris Malone. And one more time for our guests, everybody give a hand for Stu Hollowell coming by, talking to us. And this has been Nerd Alert. I'm Dan Danzy. You guys stay safe, stay good, stay nerdy.